And we are live, I think. Let's check. There we go. Did I mute the stream? I got my headphones in. I'm good. Let's see who shows up. It is 1:30 in the morning for me. Oh, there's Mary. Mary's here. She's probably still doing work. She just got done with her stream. Jessica Zimmer is here. Lethal Lightning is here. Soul Assassin's here. People are starting to roll in. Usually I do a scheduled stream. I have a 30-minute notification go out. But I just decided, screw that. Fuck it. We're doing it live because, everybody else has gone live today. Nearly every single person in the world has gone live today to talk about Rise of Skywalker. And I've been on a couple streams and I just thought, what the hell? I'm just going to go do it too. Let's see who else is here. Soul Assassin, Realist Chaff. Hi, Ryan. What's up? Scottish Nerd. Good morning from the UK. Good morning, Scottish Nerd. What time is it over there? I feel like it is. Are you guys 8 hours ahead of Pacific Standard Time? So if it's 1:30 for me, is it 9:30 for you? That's my guess. Who else? Frank Hernandez. Second Street Marvel is totally not here. He's sleeping. Good. Get that sleep, man. You always do your morning streams. I'm sure you're going to be talking a little bit about this in the morning. Lethal, if you want some company about an hour. Nice. What are you doing? Can't be at work right now. Greg B's here. What a roller coaster of mixed feelings. Yeah. I'll get to talking about it as soon as people roll in here for sure. And then Mary Mayhem with a $1.99 super chat. Nothing but love for you, man. Well, thank you, Mary. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hail, Ryan. Hail, Brian Learmonth. What is that? A beer? Hell yeah. I don't got a beer. I got a little bit of whiskey, though. Been sipping a little all night. So we'll continue the sip. Not too much, just a sip. 9:30 a.m. on the ball. Look, I know my global time zones. Let it never be said that I don't know my global time zones. Alex is here. What's up? Hate-mongering verbal terrorists of the toxic brood. You guys are killing it with these streams. Love you, buddy. Well, thank you. I think right now, pretty sure Nerdrotic is still live. He was pulling over 7,000. I'm pretty sure John Talk's still live. He was pulling about 1,000. There's never going to be a good time. I don't really want to wait till tomorrow. And I also don't want to make a review video for Rise of Skywalker, to be honest. I have already made tonight. I have already made a box office thing because the first box office projections for that opening night just came out. Maybe a little higher than I had initially thought. So I made a video for that. That'll be going out in the morning. I guess not that it's not already morning, but you know what I mean. So yeah. 5:30 in Manila, huh? Can barely keep up with G&G alone. Yeah, it's been crazy. It's what everybody's talking about. Everybody in the world wants to know about the Rise of Skywalker, whether they like it, whether they don't like it, whether they don't care and they just want to laugh. Yeah. I mean, it's like the number one and number two trending thing in the world. So that's always good for social or for search engine optimization, at least. But guys, if you're just showing up here, smash a like button, share the stream out there, hashtag it with hashtag The Rise of Skywalker or hashtag Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, something on there. Those things are both trending right now. Let's get more people in here. Let's get more people. The demise of Skywalker is proof Disney doesn't understand Star Wars. Yeah, I think they made a serious misjudgment in what they had. I think they made a serious misjudgment when they started this thing. Let's see. We've got another super chat from according to Christy. $5 from Christy, who is awesome. one of the best mods out there, and also is doing awesome stuff on her channel. She had a couple rants today. I saw at least 2 of them. I saw part 1 and part 2. So OMG, another live stream. I love you, man, but it's 3:30 a.m. I'm going to bed. Happy streaming. Good night, Christy. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't expect a ton of people to show up, you know, because it is super early and people have been streaming for literally freaking hours about this movie. But I was up, figured I'd do it. On EFAB, yeah, when I was on EFAB, we went over these leaks, and I had known about them before that. You know, I was pretty pretty familiar with them before I went on EFAP, and that kind of just cemented them in my mind. So I've known the plot of the story for forever. Skyra's being trolled by Disney Star Wars fanboys. You say to review and points why it was bad. Well, hey, you know, that happens. That happens. People are going to be upset either way. If you tell me that something I like sucks, I might be upset too. As I often am whenever I'm on with Jeremy and he talks shit about Zack Snyder, because I love my boy Zack. I know a lot of people may have issues with his DCU, but I love him. So it is what it is. Thank you guys for liking. As soon as I said that, a bunch of likes went up. Thank you guys for sharing the stream. And I did see this today. I did not go to the theater because I didn't pay for this movie. I feel like after 2 years, in my case 4 years, of complaining about Disney Star Wars, that there's no way that I could go and give money to a movie theater to go see this movie. So I watched it from right here, this comfy chair. I was all alone in this room, watching right here on my monitor. That's how I saw it. Now, you put on your pirate hat as well, Rhino said. That's good. If you guys are interested, I would just say go to my Twitter and check out my pinned tweet. There might be a promotional link that you guys can get your very own copy, your promo copy, of course. And I would recommend downloading it because I don't know how much longer that's going to be available, to be quite honest with you. It has like 300 likes already, so I'm kind of surprised. Whoa, Thomas, buddy. Thomas Gilkey with a big super chat. I will wait till it pulls up right here on StreamYard. Thomas Gilkey, $20. Thomas, man, it's too much money, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. It's almost work time for me, but you're a good guy. Well, thank you. Going to see it at 2 later today, but I'm not paying for it. Good. Seems like the music and visuals are the only good things about this. Then I'm focused on the EU. Yes. And that is going to be a point of this stream, talking about where I think the path forward for Disney and us as Star Wars fans is. So, you know, that's I agree with you, Thomas. On to the EU, on to the expanded universe. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Thomas. Thanks for being such a great friend and great supporter of everybody. You know, whether they're a big channel, whether they're a little channel, Thomas is always there to support. So thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Yeah, a lot of people. Guys, I was on the live stream in G&G and I told everybody, hey, if you are interested in getting your promo copy, then just check me out on Twitter. And I gained like 300 followers because so many people are wanting to get their hands on that. We've got another super chat. Wow, they're rolling in today. Let's see. I don't know what that says. Zdaravko? Ryan, still hoping Baby Yoda might be dead? Well, I don't think Baby Yoda is dead. I don't think that's the case. I think he's very much alive, and this is not a Mandalorian spoiler stream, but I think he's very much alive. Another $5 super chat from Thomas Gilkey. Were there any good things? Well, yeah, that's what I was about to talk about. Any good things that come from this? Also, is Heir to the Empire the best place to get started in the EU? I would start with Heir to the Empire. Yes, I definitely would. I think that's the best place. I think it gives you a really good feel. It gives you a really good feel of exactly what Zahn created. He created something that felt like the original trilogy, that honored the characters, did a good service to them. And George, in fact, was very happy with Heir to the Empire. Talked to Zahn a lot about it while he was developing it, told him some things to work in because he really liked a lot of the West End game stuff. So yeah, Heir to the Empire is a great place to start. And were there any good things that come from this this movie? Listen, I saw a pirated copy. I watched a pirated copy, so the visuals, I couldn't get a really good idea of what exactly, you know, the high level that the visuals were. I'm sure they were good because it is Disney Star Wars. It is a huge budget. I've seen Force Awakens. I've seen The Last Jedi. There's one thing that they do well, and that is, you know, visually, it looks stunning. So somebody said the link doesn't work. I'm not going to put the link in this stream. If you want to, you can go to my Twitter real quick. My Twitter is, it's in the description of this video, but it's the pinned tweet. If it doesn't work for you, I'm using Chrome. It works fine on my browser. It worked about 10 minutes ago. Yeah. So, will I do Dark Empire? Yeah, I've actually done Dark Empire Rise of Skywalker comparisons for a couple months now, but I will definitely do another definitive one at some point. I will definitely do that. Great idea. Great idea. But yeah, I don't want to put it in the stream. I probably shouldn't have put it on my Twitter, but I don't give a shit. Whatever. Let's see. Before we get started, let's thank my patrons real quick. Now that some people are rolling in, I do have some wonderful patrons, and you know, without them, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things I'm doing. I wouldn't be able to bring you some of the content that I'm able to bring you, and so I appreciate them from the bottom of my heart. Let me thank them right here. Teresa Martin, Mexican Iron Man, Lost Jedi 22, Mary Mayhem, What an Ass, What a Bitch, What a Cuck, George Big Dick Lucas, Rosetta Allen, Bionic Belly Button, RC from the NYC, Huge Ass, Seth Saunders, Kyle Hopkins, Alex McCarthy, who I saw here, Trev Fishbean, and Geeky Candy. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate my patrons. Much love, much love. I sound like drunk 3PO saying much love. Huh. Not gonna lie, it's so much fun when the crew piles on you. You know what? They just, you know, it's like Toxic Brood or Hate Monger the Toxic Brood. It's like the Sith of old, right? You know, instead of just challenging you one-on-one, right? Instead to take down the stronger Sith, they join together. A bunch of weaker ones join together to attack that one. And you know, that's what happens. But I got to fight them off. I got to fight them off. That's okay. I embrace it. I embrace it. But thank you. Thank you. All right. So, guys, I don't know if you realize this. Something came out today in the United States called Rise of Skywalker. It's a little movie. I don't know if you heard about it. But, God, spoilers for Rise of Skywalker. It was just awful. I knew the entire plot going in. I've known the spoilers for forever, but once it started leaking, everybody knew that there was complete confirmation. So nothing really surprised me. That may have been part of the reason why I have the feelings I have about it. But it was so disjointed. I think JJ deserves definitely a lot of blame for this. At the same time, you can't discount the fact, right, that you cannot discount the fact that there was no plan for this at all. There was no plan for this trilogy. That does fall on JJ a little bit, but it falls on Kathleen Kennedy. It falls on Bob Iger. I don't know how they didn't have a plan for one of the biggest properties on Earth. $4 billion you spent on this, and you didn't have a plan for your trilogy. I'll say this right away, and I'll probably say it again later as more people roll in. The fact, I saw Stieg too. Stieg, I saw you in chat say you're watching from bed. All right, good buddy. I know Stieg's kind of done with Disney Star Wars right now, but what was I saying? I'll say it earlier, or I'll say it again when more people come in, but Leia, listen, Carrie Fisher, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. We all love Leia from the original trilogy, and we all appreciate the character. They should have killed her. They should have killed her off screen. They should have killed her off screen because she was awful. Any moment that she was on screen was bad. It was distracting because it's not her. Even if you went into this having no idea what had happened, having no idea who Carrie Fisher was, that she had died, that they didn't have any footage, that they used all the old footage from TFA and TLJ, even if that was the case, you didn't know any of that, it's so off-putting because they have her just saying these generic lines that could mean anything. Rey could have asked her what the meaning of life was, or she could have asked her where to find a pie. And the response that Carrie gives is like so ambiguous because it's all they had to work with. I cannot believe they did that because she didn't really add much to the movie, in my opinion. I think that they should have just done a commemoration, like a celebration of her in the beginning, something to honor her before the title scroll, and moved off. It was so bad whenever she was on there because she didn't look like she belonged there, and she didn't talk like she belonged there. Anytime another character was talking to her, it was a over the shoulder view of that character from a body double. I don't know, guys. Didn't like it. Leia was more dead than palpitations. That's true. Oh, Palpatine. No, I'm just talking about Leia. I'm just talking about Carrie Fisher. Her parts. Really bad. Guys, hey, we got 55 people in here in the middle of the night, 37 likes. If you could smash that like button, please, I'd appreciate you. Share it if you haven't shared. Did I share? I think I tweeted it out, didn't I? Just thinking about that. I think I did. Yes, I did. I did share it. Man. Sorry, my throat's a little sore. I've been literally streaming for like 8 hours, I feel like. A lot to talk about. The whole movie was pointless. It's very true. So I'm assuming if you're here, you've probably heard a lot about it already, but let me kind of go through it. We're 20 minutes in. It looks like this might be the crowd that we have. So you start off with the opening crawl saying that Palpatine has broadcast to the galaxy that he is alive and he has a secret fleet and that he's going to take over the galaxy. Well, General Organa and Rey are training because the Resistance needs to be ready for this evil, and the First Order is also hunting to try to find Palpatine because it's a threat to them. Opening sequence, Kylo is on. Now, the planet wasn't named, I don't believe, in the movie, but I think it's Mustafar. I'm almost positive that this planet is Mustafar. When you zoom in on it, you can see that it's red and glowing. There's a lot of lava on parts around the planet. He is not specifically on a part that is like covered in lava, but just like going through some dead trees and stuff, just slaughtering people. And he finds a wayfinder. Now, this wayfinder, I did see this wardrobe change, yes. This wayfinder is a magical device that when you plug it into your ship, it leads you directly to this planet called Exegol. So the hunt was for this wayfinder. Kylo finds it. He goes to Exegol, which is a very dark and very lightning-filled place. It's just constantly flashing. So Kylo goes there and he hears the voice of the Emperor. You've seen it in the trailers where he says that I've been every voice inside your head, blah, blah, blah. I've been manipulating you this whole time. I'm Palpatine. I'm alive. And Kylo basically says, there's no way you can be alive. You died on the Death Star. And he's like, but yet here I am. Basically didn't deny that he died, but he's basically said he's back. They don't explain it at all. They don't explain why Palpatine's back. How? How do you not do that? You're not going to recognize these movies as canon? Yeah. And that was so, it's literally like within the first 5 minutes of the movie, you have Palpatine introduced as back. He looks old as shit, but they don't explain why he's back. They don't explain anything about, anything about why this movie's for normies, maybe. And I don't need a super in-depth explanation. You just need to tell me a little bit. And they don't. They just say, they use the line, the dark side is the path to many powers that people would find unnatural. The line from Revenge of the Sith. Throwaway. At least Valkorion got a new body. Just grab the Thrawn trilogy, Jessica. That's freaking awesome. Nice. Thanks for the suggestion. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. Yeah, that's great. So Rey has been training. Oh, so Palpatine wants Kylo to bring Rey to him. He wants Rey to be brought to him for some unknown reason. You guys already know. You guys already freaking know. I'm not going to waste my time pretending like you don't and going through a whole review. Rey is a Palpatine. Rey's a Palpatine. That's what the leaks have been. Was this the plan all along? I highly doubt it. I know for a fact that it was not the plan to bring Palpatine back. I know that. J.J. Abrams basically told Ian McDiarmid as much. We know that that wasn't true. But, I mean, whether Rey was always supposed to be a Palpatine is still, it's still a theory you could run with. Still a theory you could run with. They don't explain how she is a Palpatine. No, they say that. So I do know that. Kylo, when he addresses her, says, "My mother was the daughter of Darth Vader. Your father is a Palpatine." I think he said that. So it was Rey's dad who was a descendant of Palpatine. So not only is Rey a Palpatine, but in Disney canon, Palpatine is the one who fathered Anakin. By fathered, I mean through the Force. Basically, Force fucked Shmi. So, NSFW language, I guess, if this is you guys' first time on this channel. My streams, I pretty much just say whatever. Who is Palpatine smashing? I don't know, man. I don't know. He may have cloned it, maybe. But anyway, the whole reason that at the end of the day, the entire reason that the Emperor wants, what's her name? Rey, is for her to strike him down in anger and for him to transfer the essence of him and all the other Sith Lords that live inside him, evidently, into Rey, and she can become Empress Palpatine. He literally says the words Empress Palpatine. I rolled my eyes so hard when that happened. Now, I mean, I didn't see it in theaters, right? So I had a very different experience than a lot of other people. Again, if you're just joining, I saw from the comfort of this chair right here. I watched it on this very computer because I'm not going to fucking pay Disney for what they've been giving us. $2 super chat from Melissa Lord. Melissa, thank you. C+, 3.5 out of 5, average, 9 is the end, over. See, that's pretty good, I think. I think that's a pretty good grade, 3.5. That's kind of the cutoff for like Rotten Tomatoes reviews and stuff like that, where they consider them good. You don't want to waste 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Again, if you guys don't want to pay for it, check out my Twitter. Check out my pinned tweet. That's all I'll say. Thank you for the super chat, Melissa. I appreciate you. let's start with things I liked. Things I liked. I mean, I guess we're already started. Man, I'm tired. Things that I liked about this. I liked Lando. When Lando got revealed, even though I knew who Lando was, when he takes off his helmet, he kind of he pulls them into to a little car to get them out of the way from the First Order. When Lando is there and he pulls off his hat, even though I knew it was him, and he says, I forget exactly what he says. He's like, Chewie, give me a hug, or, you know, Chewie, good to see you, or something like that. Billy D was awesome. It was definitely nostalgia. It's definitely nostalgia, but I like Billy D. It was like he'd never left, man. It was awesome to hear him again. He still got he didn't really walk much or anything, but he still got the swag somehow. I don't know. I like him. Thank you, Melissa. Rhino Synth. Lando is so cool still. Hell yeah, he is. Hell yeah. I liked it when it was over blanket. Is there a, yeah. Oh, God, I cannot wait for a Red Letter Media review. I haven't seen one yet. That is going to be awesome. The reviews I can't wait for: Doomcock, Robot Head, Mauler. Yeah, Red Letter Media. It's always interesting to see what kind of where those guys go. I heard Star Wars Theory. I listened to some of his stream today. He liked it. You know, he's a big Anakin guy. What you guys have heard is true. It shits all over the prequels, all over Anakin's journey as the chosen one. It shits all over the original trilogy, and it shits all over The Last Jedi. Yes, it does. Now, if you're looking for something good to come out of this, then that could be one of them. He shits on The Last Jedi hard. There's a part where all right, so Rey has decided that she is too close to falling to the dark side. She goes to Ahch-To just like her master, just like Luke Skywalker did, to give up. Because obviously Luke, by the end of his journey in The Last Jedi, has realized that was a mistake and he needs to come back and help his friends. But she goes back to Ahch-To because she evidently learned that lesson. She wants to cut herself off from the Force, stay there because she's scared of falling on the dark side. She destroys Kylo Ren's ship that she stole to get there. It's on fire, and she's about to throw her lightsaber in. She throws her lightsaber, and right as it's about to go in the flames, a ghostly hand, reaches out and grabs it. And out strolls Luke Skywalker, and the music swells, but no one cares. Because Luke's already been ruined. He grabs the lightsaber and says, something like, a Jedi's weapon is nothing to be so easily discarded. And he says it in a snarky way. It's clearly a shot at Rian Johnson. There's no way it's not. So on the nose. So on the nose. I have another super chat. I think that is Pounds, Scottish Nerd. You're Scottish. It looks like a pound sign. £2. EU forever. The expanded universe forever. Disney never. Hail Darth Angelus. Yes. Hail Darth Angelus. That is a great. I appreciate that sentiment. I appreciate it. Yes, Force Ghosts can interact with things. You know, Force Ghosts can pull lightning down from the sky and destroy the ancient texts. They can also catch lightsabers in midair. What the fuck can't Force Ghosts do? Where are the rules in this universe? What are the rules? Like, Obi-Wan in episode 5. In episode 5, Obi-Wan, when Luke is getting ready to go confront Darth Vader, he has to finish his training. They're trying to convince him to stay. And Obi-Wan says, Luke, if you go there, I cannot interfere. I cannot help you. I mean, he can't do anything. He's a ghost. There's nothing he can do. Yet, now Force Ghosts just interact with shit. Is it just an Ahch-To thing? Like, they need to explain that, or else that plot hole is so big. Just riddle me this. If Force Ghosts can interact with lightsabers or whatever, why on the second Death Star did Obi-Wan just not come up, grab Luke's lightsaber that was on the ground, that he threw down on the ground as the Emperor was walking, and just pick it, chop his head off? Why not? Why, like, if Force Ghosts can interact that way, why aren't they doing it? Why aren't they helping people? Like, doesn't make any sense. A lot of people saying 3 out of 10s. 3 out of 10s. God mode Force Ghosts, yes. Bionic Belly Button's here. It's been a while since I've heard from you, Bionic Belly Button. Just got back from the theater, evidently. Very nice. Yeah, I saw it from right here. Look at Tatsunami. That is so nice. Please give Ryan a like. Yeah, please do give me a like. I'd appreciate that. Give me a like. Share that stream out there. Hell yeah. We can rebuild her. We have the technology. Oh, I'm kind of cold. Oh, man. I got a treat for you guys now. I got a treat for you guys. I wasn't sure what would happen. I wasn't sure this would happen, so I didn't put anything out. But I've got someone who wants to talk about this movie. I don't know. Maybe he really liked it. We'll see. But Dash Star, how's it going, buddy? Oh,
hey, man, what's going on? Round 2.
No, I was gonna say I thought that was gonna be an epic entrance, and then it was muted.
I thought it was going to be an epic entrance as well. I've failed. You know what? I am the living embodiment of the Rise of Skywalker.
You failed in your entrance. They failed closing out this saga. And to call something the Skywalker saga, I think is a little disingenuous. When in the end of the day, the Skywalkers didn't matter. A Palpatine just ended up killing a motherfucking Palpatine. And that's the way it ends.
I agree with you, dude. Look, it's so strange to me that people are behind it at all, just on a fundamental narrative level, because the arc is, reconstituted by George Lucas this is the Skywalker saga, like you said. And so it's kind of like a square peg in a round hole by saying, well, she's a Skywalker. But it really isn't. It really was, like I said to you today, Palpatine propped up. The nostalgia Palpatine, pumped full of chemicals, brought back to life by Disney. He's being like, "You happy with this?" And he's kind of just hanging there, and he's like, "Remember me?"
It was so sad when you put it that way, and when you put all the dudes just standing there in the stand, just eating it all up, because that's what's gonna happen. We've seen it already. I'm looking at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience reviews are pretty high right now. For RT, not necessarily for Metacritic, but sitting at 88% verified audience, 76% total audience score, higher than the critic scores.
I never saw that come, not in a million years. I went into the film and I wanted to like it, dude. Like I thought, for all my misgivings, I don't want Disney to succeed financially so that they learn from their mistakes. However, I always go into a Star Wars film hoping that it hits me with that Star Wars. You heard that like choke in the throat, that the Star Wars feeling. And within the first 5 minutes, I knew it was a travesty. I knew that Jar Jar was trying to claw his way out of the hole that the sequels had kind of dug up with number one, leveraging nostalgia with the OT characters in horrible ways, propping them, bringing them back to life. But number two, fixing the own continuity errors of The Last Jedi, which he had no control of. And number three, trying to do the George Lucas poetry where everything calls back to itself. But so like he tried 3 things in one film and failed at all 3. So it's a lot. It's too much, It's too much.
And so I've heard a lot of people say that they think this should have been split into 2 films. Do you think that would be a potential? Would you think they even would have considered that at all? Having like coming out saying they planned this trilogy and then having an episode 9 and 10, or is that admitting too much for Disney, for Lucasfilm? Do you think they would have been able to swallow their pride and say, because this is a trilogy, they announced it as a trilogy, it's planned out as a trilogy, they've got the release dates. If they came out and said we're doing 2 movies, that would be them admitting that they massively fucked up.
I don't think so. I think that they've got marketing boys, they've got gurus who look into psychology of audiences. You know, they're $1 billion company. They don't just shoot from the cuff. So they could sell it as an Infinity War with a cliffhanger if they had so chosen. If they said, look, this is a 2-parter, but you're going to love it. And instead of like Luke Skywalker, you know, with the Rey moment, like if they did it that Palpatine was only inserted 3rd act, end of the first part, and this was all a fight between Kylo and Rey, you know, it really built the tension, so you didn't even see any redemption arc coming through. I think that they could have done it. And what I really would have wanted to have seen, which they didn't even flirt with the idea. And I need to get your feedback to it. Like I need you to hear me out, and if you don't like it, reel it on back. But I was thinking about it today. So they didn't explain how Palpatine survived, and I thought, wouldn't it have been smart, or wouldn't it have been clever to show? Because most people just have him gone pop in the reactor as it blows up the Death Star. If he was plummeting to his death, and we get to see that from, you know, the bottom of the reactor, it rushing up to him, and he does some crazy ass Sith alchemy move where he tears open the fabric of space and time, and he gets stuck in a dark side void for 30 years, and his body, like on a molecular level, is being torn apart, and he's in a maelstrom of pain. Like there's got to be a sacrifice. There's got to be a cost for doing this. And then he lands on the other side, and he realizes the first order. Like I could have accepted that. I would have gone, holy shit. Yeah. You know, like he's number 1, paid a price. Number 2, he wasn't around for a reason. Number 3, it was some Sith alchemy shit. Like they at least just something. I'm sure there's smarter people that could write something where there's a passage or there's a void, but they just showed him like hooked up to life support and chunks of the Death Star. And I'm like, number 1, people have already said a burn up on re-entry. Number 2, I want to conceptualize it. I know they'll probably put it in a comic or something, but fuck, man. Like,
yeah, dude, I have visions of Gandalf when you say that. When he's plummeting down, you assume he's dead, right? But he's plummeting down, and then you explain how he survived.
Yes.
Like, exactly like you said. If that had been the opening, or I think it would be a little cheesy if Kylo was like, how are you here? And like, he was like,
that's a good Kylo.
He's like, let me tell you a tale, you know, and then it's a flashback. That'd be a little cheesy. But if that was the intro to this movie, like if the scroll is basically says Palpatine announces he's back, whatever, and then they show that, you know, 30 years ago, and go to the Death Star and have the scene of him getting thrown down and follow him down, that'd be awesome. It would make so much sense. And it immediately sets you in the wrong tone in this movie. Because within the first 5 minutes, you're being introduced to a character that you already feel is there just for fan service, that had no like forewarning, no prelude to. There was no indication that this was a possibility. And all of a sudden he's there. Kylo asks him why he's there, and he says, "'Cause I am, bitch. Like, well, you don't need to know. I'm just here." It's so lazy. We got a $1.99 super chat from Mary Mayhem. Dash definitely doesn't look bored. That is true.
My heart. Oh, that was a feedback of like my last time. I think it was on Lethal's podcast. She was like, man, you look bored, because I'd been sitting there. I'd actually wired myself full of that energy drink and I couldn't sit still. So I'm like clenching my teeth, trying to sit through like 3 hours of podcast. Thank you, Mary. It was a great, I watched the end of you guys podcasting today. And that was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
It's a great conversation. Mary had Geekdom 101 on there, and man, yeah, they were going to town. They had like almost 700 people in chat. Yeah, it was crazy. Rise of Skywalker was popping. I probably should have done a stream last night, but I was hopping around everybody else's. That's all right. We're doing an early morning one for you Europeans and for you Australians and anybody else that's crazy enough to be up this time. $2 super chat from Melissa Lord. 9 undoes Anakin's sacrifice for Luke and the galaxy. Yes, I believe it does. And Hayden Christensen's voice was in this. Did you recall what he said? Did you catch what he said?
You're asking me or the chat, because
I'm asking you.
All of it just went over my head. Like, no. Please explain to me in great detail and why it's important.
Well, Hayden Christensen said, because I was able to rewind it a couple times, because again, I didn't see it in theaters. I have a pirated copy. Somebody suggested
you didn't even romance them. You weren't like, I didn't see it in theaters. I've sailed the Black Seas. You're like, I didn't see it in theaters because I steal content.
Yes, I thieve. I'm not embarrassed. Someone called me Robin Hood. I believe that's an apt description, because I am stealing from Disney to give to the people that deserve it. But so I was able to rewind it a couple times, and Hayden Christensen says something like, stand up, Rey, and bring balance to the Force like I once did. That's what he said. So if Palpatine's still alive, I don't understand how balance was brought to the Force. Doesn't make any sense to me. And I agree with you, Melissa, that it does undo the sacrifice for Luke and the galaxy. And $2 super chat. Sup, Ryan? I watched The Rise of Skywalker and I mixed on it. A lot of people are, Jonathan. Thank you both. Thank you guys both for the super chats. I really appreciate it. And yeah, that is the big, when it's all said and done, we're kind of over that, to be honest, because as soon as we heard that laugh at the end of Star Wars Celebration trailer, we knew Palpatine was coming back. And unless they did a lot of explaining, we thought that Anakin's sacrifice would be ruined. And they didn't do any explaining at all.
Yeah, so what I said to Ryan today, look, this is my take. Because Disney's so shitty about throwing the nostalgia bone to fans to get them to come to theaters, you know, that they're not above throwing a Palpatine when they need him, or shitting on my beautiful Lando. I said to Ryan, I think metaphorically, Palpatine hooked up to those machines and propped up and brought back for nostalgia bait that was Disney metaphorically doing that. But the audience, that strip of unseen plebs, the zealots of Palpatine that worshipped him at all points, but you never saw their face. I think that was the old school fans. They were kind of indicating this, you know, these are the old homeboys, you know, they're worshipping Palpatine, but Rey of light and justice blows them all away because this is the new way. So I think that's what I took away from it. And I was like, oh, what? Why is it so lame? Why does it turn into a horror movie, a really bad B horror movie with the sound, especially? Like, it goes Star Wars action, new Star Wars horror movie, Palpatine, way too freaking dark. I couldn't see anything. And he didn't explain anything. He just said he reconstituted the old lines, which again is kind of like a, you know, George Lucas poetry, but don't say the same shit verbatim as nostalgia bait. It's not profound if it doesn't have an effect. Like, even George Lucas got a little bit of shit in the prequels for looping the lines. Not everything needs to be said again. And for me, like a porpoise to be, or dolphin, whatever, to clap. No, seal, like a seal. Oh, I remember that. You know, like I get it, dude. You've seen the old movies. They happened. It doesn't mean that it's all this culmination. The crescendo is number 9. It doesn't have to be that. It didn't have to be that. It could have been its own thing, but I don't know. I think you're right. It needed a two-parter, but I think J.J. Abrams literally just tore the guts out of A New Hope for Force Awakens. And then Rian Johnson undid that a bit for Last Jedi, and then JJ's like, fuck it, I'm just going to do Return of the Jedi. I mean, you had the ex-First Order people on the animals to beat the New Order. No, what is it? Not the First Order.
The final order.
I'm sorry. And it's final this time, guys.
Yes. Yes. Just like we had the final trailer to Rise of Skywalker, then we had 8 more. So
right. And so there was a lot of trailers. Yeah, when like disable the speeders, and then they're like, fuck you. I'm riding this weird I don't even know what creature that was, but it was
a space horse.
Space horse. Thank you so much. I need you. Is my walking, talking Wikipedia. Yeah. Space horse. But I was like, I get it. Nature beats horrible technology every single time. But it's like, oh, Palpatine, you saw that old motherfucker shoot lightning in Return. He's going to shoot lightning even bigger this time. Everything was bigger. Everything was like Return, but Michael Bay bigger.
Yeah, guys, he blows up ships using his lightning. Well, I guess he technically disables most of them. I feel Rey is the one that Rey is the one that blows up ships with Force lightning. Palpatine only disables them. Like he's basically a big giant ion cannon. And again, I had a couple people chat asking, you should make a Dark Empire versus Rise of Skywalker video. I've talked about that from the moment we started seeing these trailers. It's a cracked version of that. And in the same way we had a Force Storm that disabled the New Republic fleet in Dark Empire, he did the exact same thing. I wonder how closely they pulled that storyline. There's no way they just came up with that with so many of these plot points from out of nowhere. The fleet is, although they aren't world devastators, they have a fleet of thousands of Death Stars with Star Destroyers with Death Star technology on them. In Dark Empire, they have a fleet of world devastators, which are super weapons in their own right. And he has a hidden fleet that he unleashes on the galaxy. There's too many similarities for it to be coincidence.
Doesn't he do Dark Transfer onto a Solo? Like he tries to jump bodies? That's the Dark Empire, right? Yeah. Yeah,
that's the whole point. Is because his clone bodies can't hold up.
Sustain him. Yeah. They keep burning out. They didn't even mess with that. They Snoked that. God damn it. Snoke in a tank. Like Snoke said, I've been around since before the Empire. Guess again, bitch. I mean, I lived in a tank. I was stupid.
Yeah, that's how they explain Snoke. They just say, "Oh yeah, they're like this, this big bad that we had for 2 episodes of this saga that just then disappeared." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I just made him. It was me all along, don't you know?"
Especially his face pressed up against the glass. I'm like, "Oh, there's Snoke face. Oh, I know what just happened." And they did that. Even the Holdo line, it was like a backhanded compliment to her, because they go, "Why don't we just skip jump the plane? The planes. How dare I? The ships into the Final Order fleet." To which they said it's 1 in a million shot, which, Han says great shot, 1 in a million to Luke Skywalker. And I'm like, don't you put her in the same freaking category as Luke Skywalker? He took that shot and the shot went up and then somehow went in. That was the Force, baby. That was a little bit of Ben Kenobi control. Something happened. Like she just pointed her ship and went light speed. And then they did the skip jumping bullshit. And oh my God, it's 2 things that piss me off. Number one, you don't have to go bigger. Like just because Han Solo had to make himself look cool by doing the stopping light speed, on Starkiller Base, doesn't mean that Poe Dameron suddenly has to be better at piloting the Falcon. Like everybody who gets in the Falcon is suddenly better in some way. But then Rey's like, they're bitching between each other about pissing Rey off about her ship. I'm like, that's not her ship. That's not she's taking everything.
She's taking BB-8. She's taking the Falcon. She's taking lightsabers.
They even were like, they're picking people for the mission, and she's like, "Fuck off, R2. You stay on the base with Leia. I'm taking BB-8." I'm like, what?
God, R2 got so screwed over in this movie. C-3PO got his day. I will say, C-3PO was actually in this movie a lot. Anthony Daniels got a decent amount of screen time on his send-off. He was not a coffee table, as he put it, or a lampshade or something, is what he said he felt like he was during the sequel trilogy. He got a lot of time. I don't know if his character is necessarily, honored too much, but hey, at least he got a lot of screen time.
Yeah, 3PO is a bit of a camp kind of character that keeps the plot bouncy and he's fun, but I'm actually surprised that Anthony Daniels, had a bit of a squeal, because on social media I thought, oh, okay, they've really royally screwed him. But you're right, he got a lot of the spotlight. He should have been like, okay, 3PO is not the best. He gets his memory wiped, he comes back. That arc was okay. I had no problem with that story whatsoever, except the stakes in the entire film I never felt suspense. I knew how it was going to play out before it did. Whereas even when you watch the old original trilogy, you still have that moment in your gut where you're like, will Luke make this shot? How he's going to overcome Palpatine? But this film, I'm just like, 3PO is going to be okay. He's going to be okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing, 3PO, oh, he's sacrificing himself. Oh, wait, he's actually fine. Chewbacca dies. I can't believe it. He's actually fine.
I was so filthy, dude.
3 minutes later, you find out he's fine. Like, it's like,
but they were like, Ray,
point?
It's not your fault. I'm like, it is your fault. It is 100% her fault. Even if she didn't kill him, whatever. Scenarios that if I was, okay, let's be honest, Finn still wanted to get in her pants, so he was being good, and she actually looked like, she got a nice tan. Her calves were looking really on point. I know I noticed that, but so she's looking good. So he's like, it wasn't your fault. I will console you.
That's the only part of her that is exposed are her calves and her like triceps.
Yeah. She looked all right. I'm not too much of a Daisy Ridley fan. I was like, I noticed.
I've seen she was on some show where she was a cadaver. She was a dead cadaver and was naked. And so there's a clip of that out there. I
gotta leave this podcast for 5 to 7 minutes and I'll be back.
You might need more than that. You might need more than that. It's not the best clip. It's not the best look. She kind of looks dead.
Minutes.
Yeah.
Even better. No, 2 to 3 now, dude. Dead? You didn't say that. Woo.
There you go. That's Dash likes them cold. You heard it right here. She likes cadavers. That's what has just been claimed at the midnight stream. So Bionic Belly Button for $10. It was the Ray show. It really was. She can do anything. The phallic scene with Poe's flashlight versus her saber. Finn impotently yelling after her as she's fighting Kylo. She could do it all, and the men were fools. Han's a Force ghost? Well, I agree with all of it you said, Bionic Belly Button. Thank you so much for the super chat, except the Han Force ghost. Han was like a memory. I don't know if it was a Force-induced vision or if it was just a memory that Kylo was having to cope with something. Either way, it was stupid. I don't know how much they had to pay Harrison Ford for him to show up like looking like he didn't give a fuck for a couple minutes. I don't think he even combed his hair. He looked crazy. But yeah, it was silly. Like, we saw that scene. It didn't work. It didn't work when Snoke was supposedly in control. I don't know why it would work when Palpatine's in control of Kylo. And that's what it takes for him to turn to the light side, evidently, and become Ben.
Scene, dude. I loved it. I'm the opposite. That was the one scene. I loved it. Probably, I don't know, because it was like a father and son moment. It was the one time that JJ didn't steal from another movie. He took from his own original thought and then went back to it. And I was okay with that. I was like, finally, JJ, you're learning a new trick yourself. I actually didn't mind it. It was my favorite bit of the film.
That's interesting. One of my favorite parts, which I don't know if you actually liked it, because I know you're a big Lando guy. When Lando got revealed, I smiled. That was like the only time I smiled during this movie. When he took the thing. I know it was him too. He took the thing off, and I don't know what he said, but he's like, "Chewie, come here." It was kind of like, Han, you old pirate. It was kind of that feeling. Billy D was just spot on. It made me smile, but he was basically just useless in general in the film. I guess that's not true. He was able to gather the entire fleet of the galaxy somehow, just because a smooth talking black man, asked them nicely. They all showed up for this fight at the end.
Yeah, I loved Lando, dude. I thought he sucked in the film. Like, he was played out. I don't know why. Maybe I just feel like his nostalgia was there, but he starts out by saying he's pathetic, which if you listen to the Disney guys when they talk about like bringing the old cast back, they were so reticent. Like they just didn't like doing it. And they were like, who wants to see the old people in the scrum? So whenever I saw Lando, I was really just holding my breath. Like, don't play him out as a dumb old guy. And the first thing he says is, like my flying days are over. Yeah. He does come good on that. It does change, but it still was so. It just felt like it was a piece of the set dressing. Like every single older character they bring back, that they didn't do justice in any way, shape, or form to what they could have been, or even their memory. To be honest, but again, I'm really harsh with Lando. Like you said, he's my favorite original trilogy character, so I knew that they were going to play him a little bit.
I can't believe what they did to Wedge, man. I can't believe Dennis Lawson came back to be like
2 seconds.
Nice flying, Lando. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Why is he a fucking gunner? He should get his ass in an X-Wing and teach Poe Dameron and Snap Wexley what the hell's going on.
Oh
I couldn't believe that.
Snap was getting bigger throughout the film. I'm not a dude to chub shame anybody, but like I was having a bit of a chuckle because I'm like, damn, that dude's actually put on a bit of kip since the Force Awakens. It's a bit rough seeing him in that flight suit.
It was right that he got the Porkins treatment. Let's just be honest.
Ooh, yeah, that is brutal. No,
he had an inertial compensator turned all the way up. He just, he wasn't quite sure, so he just crashed.
That horrible joke. No, the thing about I think Wedge. Oh God, I've lost it. We were talking about Wedge and how they brought him back in, and it was like a 2-second played out thing, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to skip forward because I swear to God I had something about the.
We were just talking about shit that they were doing to the legacy characters. I mean, those are the only two I really remember. In this movie were Lando and Leia. Listen, Leia, I said it before you joined, Dash. Leia was fucking awful. They should have killed her. They should have killed her off screen. Never brought back the essentially the corpse of Carrie Fisher to do this. Speaking of, I should probably introduce who we have here. We have another Australian, Lethal Lightning, in the house. It's a good time for you guys, I think. 2:30 in the morning, my time. But yeah,
I wasn't expecting to see Dash here. I thought I'd come in and keep you company, but it looks like Dash is already holding it down very well. How are we, gents?
Hey, doing, dude?
Yeah, man, bloody hot, man.
Yeah, I heard there's fires and shit around you.
Yeah, we had some nasty ones here, but God, that's why I was saying in the private chat, let me know if you can hear my fan and I'll turn it off. And I was like, I really hope they can't hear it.
It is so hot. Shaving my head was a mistake because I'm all sweaty, and now I've got like this glistening little light shining on my forehead. I'm like reflective. No, I had it. I'm gonna make you say it, Ryan, just because I'm sadistic. Tell me, what was Rey's call sign?
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why was it Red 5? He was Rogue Leader last we saw. Oh, I forgot to fucking say this on stream earlier. Red 5. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you not have one motherfucker in the story group that said, hey guys, maybe that's not the best idea? Was Pablo Hidalgo, was he just on fucking Facebook the entire time they were producing this, just sitting in their office alone? Chris Terrio, JJ Abrams, do whatever the fuck they want. Really? Red 5. How?
It's so brutal, dude. Like, give her everything unearned, but I was like, you didn't. You cheeky fucks. You did not just do that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, my heart, man, my heart.
Oh, that's painful, man. I've seen the first 5 minutes, but I did not know that she took the Red 5 name. That's painful.
Well, because they use his X-Wing.
Yeah, that Luke lifts out, right? She takes it.
Yes.
Right.
Real quick from Dave Crockert. Thank you for the, I think that's €3. Is that what that is? I think so. Ivan stated it will be a bitch, but he can fix it. If Ivan Ortega can fix this movie, that would be amazing. We'll all be greatly looking forward to that. That'd be insane. And $1.99 from Drunk 3PO. Wow, you got Dash on your show? Jealous.
Yeah, because fuck Lethal.
Yes, exactly. Yes, he evidently drunk does not care about Lethal. He can have you on the show anytime he wants. So he's just jealous about Dash. But yeah, so you've only seen the first 5 minutes. So have you seen The Emperor?
Yeah. Obviously, I've read all the leaks. I've seen all the screenshots. I've seen quite a
The
bit of
clips.
this movie.
Yeah, you've seen probably over half of it at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, you know what? I liked the first 5 minutes. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, but I kind of enjoyed it, like a guilty pleasure. I thought it was cool, like, like the lightning. Obviously, I like lightning and like all the dark stuff going on, but like literally, like just the way it's like the dark side is a path some considered to be unnatural. It's like, is that the only explanation we're going to get here? It's like, okay, whatever, just roll with it.
That's the whole film, dude. That's why I said it feels like you're standing in line for a Disney thing, like a Disney ride, and then they put on like an intermission show. Literally the whole film plays like that. You're like, oh, I've heard that quote before. Oh, this action sequence makes 0 sense. It looks cool. You're like, oh, this is fun, but it's not cohesive or coherent. It's just kind of happening. And you're like, what? It's okay. Yeah. Someone has watched a Star Wars before.
Yeah, well, that was pretty much me for the first 5 minutes because that was all I watched when I started watching Witcher. I was like, yeah, this makes no sense, but it looks cool. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, flashy colors.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It was flashing, so flashing that they needed seizure warnings, in fact. And that opening thing with Palpatine, so every time you see Palpatine, it's flashing like that. Every time they show him, and it's especially that first thing. It feels like some kind of weird horror thing.
I think that's what they were going for. They were going for like a Count Dracula type vibe in the castle.
I get if that's what they were going for. That doesn't feel like Star Wars.
It feels like Dracula.
It felt weird as hell.
It does. It could have been John Malkovich and Bram Stoker's Dracula, and he had the blue rubbery lips, and he was like an undead corpse. I'm feeling you. The music was off or something. It was too dark, but it was really off. Like at least give him a castle or something like Dracula. Like make him a baller. Don't make him look like they just dug him up. If he's been running shit for 30 years, at least make it look like he hasn't been in a sandpit of shit.
Do you know what I was thinking though? It's like it just made me realize like I think JJ read Dark Empire about 2 nights before they started shooting. Because you know how Dark Empire's got like the weird colors and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, that is true.
Which personally, I like the weird colors and all that sort of stuff. But I was watching it, I was like, this is fucking Dark Empire except cringy.
Yeah, but Dark Empire kind of polarizes the fandom anyway. Like he chose a piece of literature. Kudos to him for mining the EU and trying to bring everything together. But he chose a piece of literature which kind of polarized people already. It's like, it's a hard one to pull off. He didn't choose an easy, safe one. He didn't just go, legacy. That looks good.
Yeah, well, I don't like Dark Empire. I like the coloring and all that sort of stuff, but I'm just not a. I know. I'm like, there's like.
No, I'm sensing a theme here. I like the flashing colors and light.
That's true.
It's true. There's like me and like 4 people that like the coloring in that book, and I'm one of them. I think I don't like the story. I like some elements of it, but I like the colors. And I swear to God, he was going through a Dark Empire vibe with the colors in the castle and the Snokes in the tube, which was like Alien Resurrection, where you got like that one Ripley that's there like, kill me.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It definitely starts off on a weird note. Did you guys catch the planet that Kylo was on when he found the Wayfinder?
I heard you say it on the other stream.
Yeah, I think it was Mustafar. I'm pretty sure it was Mustafar because Vader had his castle there, and that would make sense that that's where his Wayfinder was because that's Vader's Wayfinder. And when you zoom in on the planet, it's like all red and glowy. You can see lava and shit. They're not on a lava area, but I'm almost positive it's Mustafar, even though they didn't like say it, which I found kind of interesting.
That's kind of cool that they switched up biomes. I thought it was all lava. I have learned something today.
Yeah, I guess I can look it up. Wookiee. Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably in there. I thought I saw that somewhere, but it was strange to me that if it was, it would announce it because I would take the opportunity to be like, "Hey, remember this thing from something you like? You know this, right?" Grant Kelbrick for, I don't know what kind of money that is, but thank you very much for it. It's 35 of it. After listening to Gary from Nerdrotic, Gary who had like 7,200 people in his chat, Gary who has 185,000 subs, had 7,200 people. Star Wars Theory was streaming. He had like 6, so huge stream from Gary. And now you guys, I'm so excited to watch this movie. Gonna go drill a hole in my head now. That would probably be a better use of your time. I'm pretty sure. So, but thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate you.
Dash, did you see it by yourself or with a friend or something?
That's a very strange question. No, only because of who I saw it with. I saw it with my aunt. I've gone to all of the latest Marvel films with my aunt, who's kind of like my movie buddy.
What'd she think of it?
She liked it. No, she has a mental handicap, so I can't, it's
not fair.
Yeah, I can't say shit. Like, I walk out, I say, "What do you think of it?" She says, "It's good." I don't probe too hard. I'm like, "So what do you think of the narrative structure? What is Jake?" I just go, "Yeah, cool." But she's wonderful. If you're watching this, Marg, somehow, I love you so much.
Marg, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, ring the bell for notifications. We'll teach you what to like and what not to like.
She does watch a lot of my content, so I am scared.
There you go.
No, I was just curious, like, because I saw your video and yeah, it was pretty clear what you thought about it. And I was wondering, like, if you went with a group of like-minded people or people like normies. Like, for example, 100%. I saw Solo with a friend of mine who's a hardcore normie, man. Like, he's only seen like the movies, and he was so freaking confused about that movie, man.
About Solo?
I was confused.
Yeah. Well, it got to the Darth Maul part, and he was like, "Wait, when does? Huh?"
Yeah. God,
that's when you can cut a fanboy. Like I said that, I've said it many times on social media. I'm like, Solo confused me, and I've read everything and I've consumed everything more in canon and most in Legends, I would say. So I knew I could place him, but the timeline was a little bit sketchy. And so when you've read the comic run, that was annexed into canon and whatever, I go, okay, so Maul goes down the hole. He's bisected. He lives in the garbage land. He uses the dark side. And then when, it tunnels down all the way to Solo when he's in the middle of his Mandalorian shit and he's a bit of a pirate. But all the hardcore fanboys were like, excuse me, Dash, it's easy to know why Maul was there. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. You know that it was convoluted as shit. And so some casual's going to be like, he was cut in half, no? You're not going to get it.
Yeah, they're going to be like, how old is Han Solo?
Yeah, exactly.
That was exactly what happened. He was confused when the movie took place. Like, so, because I told him, I was like, well, it's before the original and all that sort of stuff. And he's like, okay, yeah, cool, easy to understand. And then he saw Darth Maul and I was like, no, that was episode 1, wasn't it? Like, fuck, I need to rewatch these.
And then you're like, well, you got to watch this cartoon on Cartoon Network that is geared towards maybe a different age group. It's created by a dude who has a weird obsession with wolves. It's too tough to explain. So yes.
I just left him to be like, yep.
Did you hear me when I was on? I think it was maybe last night or night before. I theorized that Dave Filoni is a furry.
That's so smart. Now that you've put it, like you've actually articulated it, my brain started drilling down to how weird that gets really quickly, because there is an open obsession with wolves, and he's not like some 45-year-old woman obsessed with Native American culture who somehow thinks that she's a part of it with a Dancing with Wolves spirit name that she's annexed herself into with cultural appropriation. No, this is just a dude who's real hot for wolves.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what his name was in The Mandalorian in episode 6? What his character's name was? You do?
Yes.
Yes, it was Trapper Wolf.
Fucker. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say Trapper Wolf. That's literally his name as it appears in the credits.
Cub fucker. This is Cub fucker 6 standing by.
Oh, his pinned tweet, his dancing with Filoni, Bionic Belly Button says. His pinned tweet is him action figures of him and George Lucas with a wolf next to him. There's something weird, man. There's something weird.
I think
maybe he like nearly died in Siberia and a wolf pulled him out of a building, and so forever he's like, I am the wolf man. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is he's had sex with some type of dog. That's what I said, best and worst case.
Yeah,
and you just kind of figure out where you think it lands.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I do think there's we got to investigate this. This.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
We've got a 40. I never stream it this time, so there's a lot of weird denominations of money coming in. 40 somethings from Qui-Gon. Thank you so much, Qui-Gon. Watch Shadiversary's review. Funny as fuck. Shadiversary is hilarious. I love him. I love his breakdowns of fights. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So thank you for the heads up. And then I saw something in regular chat that I needed. I saw an account here. Ryan Kinel didn't drop out of school, so why he dumb says, fuck you, Ryan, you little bitch. Why do you hate on a movie you watched Illeague's way? Hashtag cancer Ryan. All right, so
brilliant.
So I know you're an Australian. I do know you're an Australian. I don't know who you are. I have an idea, but learn how to fucking spell. Like I get saying bish, but what is Elige? What is the hell is that?
It's because he's so dumb that we want to know why, because he didn't drop out of school.
I guess that's true.
No, this is comedy. Clearly he's doing this tongue in cheek. He's saying, like, you watched it Illegal Way, cancel Ryan with the CA up. He's doing this out of love. I salute you. I can spot that from a mile away. This is some tongue in cheek Australian humor. I'm giving you that free pass. And if not, then you're just dumb as shit.
Oh,
why
no,
does everyone always think it's me whenever there's these type of accounts? Like in the chat right now, people always like Joshua. He says, "Yep, that's lethal." Why do people always think it's me?
People like literally. People are like, "Oh, it's lethal," and then when I say it's not lethal, they're like, "Oh, it must be Dash." I'm like, "You think Dash? You think Dash is out here making alternate accounts that are Ryan Kinel didn't drop out of school? Why he dumb as fuck?" I don't think so.
That's funny. That is funny trolling. That is whoever did that.
I agree. It's good. It's good quality. It's good quality. But I'm expecting to see a Cub Fucker account pop up soon.
Cub Fucker. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes. I'm really excited for that one. And then Qui-Gon with another super chat answers my question for 100 Indian rupees. Thank you. Also, your favorite SWTOR class story. What's a good question? I think, listen, Jedi Knight is basically KOTOR 3. I love the Jedi Knight class. If I was to pick one that wasn't that, it would be probably, I think that the Imperial Agent story is probably the best.
I'd go the Inquisitor.
That's a decent one. Yeah, I feel like the Imperial Agent is so much fun, and the story is so deep and cunning, and you kind of feel like Jason Bourne a little bit. I don't know. It's interesting.
My only thing with the Inquisitor storyline is I feel like Darth Nox is like the most lucky dude of all time. Like, there's so many times early on in his story where he is dead to rights, but his ancestors, like, spirit rocks up and is like, nah, I got you. Like, if it wasn't for that, he'd be so dead so many times.
Which one's Nox? The fat one?
No, Nox is the, if you're a male Sith Inquisitor.
Who's the donut? Because I called him Darth Donut in my head because he was way too thick to be a Sith. Like, Sith are all about the strongest survive, and he's
Darth
so
Barris.
chunky.
Darth Barris. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Barris.
I love I just am sarcastic with him all the time. One, because it helps get you affection points for the Twi'lek. What's her name?
I don't know, but I love Lana. I wanna just, fill her bed with roses. I love.
I was so mad glad that they played out Darth Thanadin. That fucking Teneb Kell comic storyline, I was like, oh, this dude's my favorite. And then Thanadin was a whiny British bitch. And I was like, what?
Well, you just described every single British person.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's true.
Except for anybody who super chats who's British. Then you are the king, the patriarch, the whatever. You're the monarch. We're a part of the Commonwealth. We are your servants as Australians. Of course, we're going to bitch.
I know we've got a Scottish nerd in here. I don't know if we've got any straight Brits in here.
Straight Brits. No such thing.
Is that an oxymoron? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me know when you find one of them.
God.
Probably hanging out with Cubfucker.
That's so good.
I probably should never have said that. You know, it's probably something endearing, like some kid with leukemia reached out with like a little wolf trinket and he's like, I will carry you forever. And I'm sitting there going, kept it. So I really hope it's not some endearing story, Dave Filoni.
It's either that, like you said, best or worst case scenario. It's either that or Dave wants to get that knotted, wants to get knotted by a wolf. I mean, I think that's probably, one of two. It can't be anywhere in between. It could.
Don't you dare kink shame him.
I'm not shaming him. I just think it needs to be known.
What do you mean? Why do people think that that's an okay thing to say? I was giving furries a bit of stick, because it's weird. It's not normal. They're not hurting anyone. So whatever. I don't get it. I mean, you can act like an animal without the costume and it's way more fun. But the point is, there's a point. The point is, like, you should be able to say that weird shit is weird without people want to defend shit because they want to do it, even though it is pretty gnarly. Like you see people that are like super, super obese or something and they're killing themselves and they're like, don't fat shame me. And it's like, but you're dying. There's a point. There's a point to shame or to say something's weird or outside of the normal. It's because without that, there is no normal. It doesn't matter if somebody says it. Like you can be as weird as you want. But
that's how society works, right? That's how societies keep each other in line to some extent. If we were like a tribe like hundreds of years ago, and you just had one dude who couldn't stop eating, just kept eating all the shit, you would shame him or you would beat him. We're not going to do that, obviously, but you would call him out for his behavior because he's endangering himself and other people. And I don't know. I feel like kind of like, obviously, if you're just like dogs, I guess that's fine as long as you're not touching them. If you just want to pretend to be an animal, yeah, that's cool. Go for it, Dave. I'm convinced he's a furry now. I've been completely convinced. I'm forever will refer to him as Cubfucker in that accent. So please, I know what an ass, what a bitch, what a cuck's here. I would like an account called Cubfucker, spelled just like I said it, with a picture of Dave Filoni smiling with his stupid cowboy hat on. I think that would be perfect.
That's so rough.
That is brutal. That's brutal. That cowboy hat, at least he's a fanboy. Like I'm like, good. He loves Indiana Jones way too much. Awesome. At least he's a fan.
Well, they named the dog Indiana. Just saying.
I did not know that.
Wait, have you never fucking watched Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Dave Filoni named his dog Indiana.
No.
He's like a Last Crusade reference. The dog, and then
Yeah.
I got caught up on this whole cub fucking thing. I'm looking.
I made a mistake.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Hold on. So Scottish nerd, for £2, I can accept this. Absolutely, he's talking about the Brits. He's talking about the Brits and the Aussies and the Scots. Now, I saw someone in chat. Where the hell did he go? There he is. Cubfucker standing by. That's so fast. How did you do that?
How?
No one else is going to get that if they're not watching the stream. Cubfucker is going to pop up in Geeks and Gamers chats.
Oh, wow.
And Jeremy's just going to be like, All right, we told the SJWs. Now who do we got? Cub fucker, $2 Australian. Cub fucker. Thank you very much. So,
Oh shit!
God,
This
that
is the
perfect.
way.
This
Transcended.
is the way.
God.
Gotten my X-wing, obviously.
Oh wait a minute.
Shit.
There's another one that you should probably highlight in there as well.
Who?
Lethal Lightning, the cum fucker.
Where is that at? I haven't found that yet.
Oh, scroll up. He's there.
How many alts do you have, man? How many phone numbers do you have? Oh my God, what is this? He's squirting. That is lethal. Look, Lethal Lightning, the cum fucker.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Dash, what's your opinion of men wearing V-necks?
Oh, real talk.
You're talking like a standard dapper shirt.
Mm-hmm.
All about it. All about that V-neck life.
That's what I thought, Rhino Synth. That's right. That is right. He's trying to judge me, but I put it up for an open question. Look at that. Eric Butts thought episode 9 was perfect, and only Russian bots are hitting it. Well, I'm not Russian, and my last name is also not ass, so I feel like I'm in the right. But if he liked it, that's good for him.
Just based off what I've seen, I know I'm not going to like it, but I think there's a chance I'll have like a guilty pleasure. That's kind of like me with Attack of the Clones. Like I swear Attack of the Clones is a bad movie, but I like to watch it. I just don't like to tell people I'm watching it. Like I'll be watching it and my friend would call me and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'll be like, masturbating, call me back," something like that, so I can watch my movie in peace. It's a really good love story. I like love stories.
Well, it is a good love story. It's not necessarily executed super well, and the dialogue and everything.
Oh, that's what I mean.
I do like when it's dark and Padme's got that really tight tight outfit on.
My dad has
the same outfit.
No, my dad should be thanking that scene, because that was the scene when I realized, that was the exact moment in my very early life when I realized I was straight, and my dad's very thankful for that moment. So thank you, Natalie Portman.
Absolutely.
I have comments, but I'm not going to.
Well, we do have 150 people in here now. All it took was a little furry talk, a little cub fucka action, a little talking about how Lethal realized his sexuality. And, we get 150 people in here. So thank you guys. If you just got here, we got a lot of brand new people. If you just got here, smash the like button. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning for me. I have no idea what time it is on the other side of the world for these guys. But smash the like button, share the stream out there, hashtag it with Rise of Skywalker. Get some more people in here.
Hashtag cub fucker.
Hashtag the Rise of Skywalker. Hashtag cub fucker. Just like this, cub fucker. So I guess back to this, a little detour, but back to this shithole of a movie. It was the first 40 minutes, they're cramming so much stuff in there. Things like, the thing is, there's no payoff. The Finn and Poe, the dynamic between them that they established when they're playing Dejarik with Chewie as a little bit of Marvel type comedy. I could see a world in which I could like that. But the problem is that they haven't earned that. There's no payoff for that, because I never saw them bond. I never saw it happen. The most we've seen them together is they escape a Death Star in 5 minutes. They crash. Finn steals Poe's jacket. They meet each other again at the end for like 5 minutes. And that's it for Force Awakens. The Last Jedi, they're together for a little bit. Then Finn goes off with Rose. And that's it. They have a total of like 10 minutes on screen together or something, those first 2 movies. How am I supposed to buy this chemistry?
Oh, this chemistry. The weirdest thing about those 2 cats, when they're talking about hooking up, because there's that famous meme of Poe looking like he's ready to get frisky with Finn. And I'm like, whatever. What does it add to the story? Who gives a shit? Like, why does he look like he wants to eat him up like a snack? But then the bros go onto social media and they're like, we were all for the Finn Poe romance, but someone held it back. And I'm like, nobody went to Bob Iger's house, bound and gagged his wife and children, put a gun to his head, and was like, if I see Poe and Finn hook up, it's over. And it just walks away. That never happened. Nobody's holding Disney's like for ransom. They could have done it. Don't act like there's some ether of toxic people out, in the Twitter sphere or social media verse that has stopped that. Disney's powerful. Do it. They didn't do it because they didn't want to do it. They just gave us a super ugly lesbian lady kissing at the end to celebrate the film. And I was
what the hell was that, man?
On the subject of that, I've seen that that's actually been cut in quite a few countries.
Yeah, not China. It's down in China, or they're having it in China, which is kind of a surprise to some people. But yeah, like Saudi Arabia or Dubai, shit like that. Yeah, it's not.
I'm just happy it was consensual. I don't give a shit if women kiss. Like, actually, it's all right
it's good,
with me. I wish it was easier on the eyes, but people are people. They want to be romantic. Give a shit, but. It clearly was just a point. Like, they just ham-fist this shit in there. Like, you could just see JJ, like, being like, oh, God, why did I pick this lady? Now you kiss. And then they get to the end of it, and they zoom in. But I don't know. I kind of wish that it was like that, quote-unquote, non-consensual kiss, at the end of World War II, that famous picture where the dude grabs the broad, and he was so happy he kissed her. And she's like, well, I didn't know it was coming, but we were happy we weren't getting shot at anymore. And people made a hubbub about that. I kind of was hoping that she kind of, manhandled the other broad, but it didn't.
I think what Dash is saying was he wanted a moment where Scarlett Johansson and Gal Gadot were cast specifically for that one moment.
What?
Just give them $20 million to kiss for 2 seconds at the end.
What did I just walk into?
No, this is perfect. You
walk into Cub Fucker.
That's right.
What?
We're talking about how Dave Filoni fucks animals.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Look, he's in chat right now. Look at him. I've got him highlighted.
Lovely. Jesus.
No, there's no Jesus involved in this. We're talking about a man having sex with animals.
I really am uncomfortable right now. Every time I'm on stream with Lethal.
This will make you more comfortable.
Back this one up. This one's all Dash.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was Dash,
I gave them two extremes. Okay. How about we ask Mary? We be kind, we be gentlemen, and we pose the same question to her and see what she comes up with.
That is not at all what you did last time.
I'm curious as hell to know what the damn question is.
The question is, do you think that Dave Filoni is just a normal dude who talks with a soy voice and wears a cowboy hat around and is just really really obsessed with wolves because he's like maybe interested in Native American culture, or a wolf like saved him as a child or something? Or do you think he likes to fuck dogs in the butt?
What the fuck? Where did you even come up with this notion? Look, I get it. He's a weird guy. Okay, I get it. He's a weird guy. Okay, I will definitively acknowledge that he's a weird guy, but I think that is just hyperbole right there.
I think you just don't want to accept the truth.
No, I don't automatically jump to cub fucker. What?
Cub fucker.
No. I gave two extremes. I said, I've never thought of it in that light, Ryan, but you're right. Ryan has been a little bombastic with his claims, but I said, I'm joking. I said there's two extremes. The first is like a kid with leukemia, I believe I posed, could have given him like a thank you wolf, and then he's taken it with him forever and it's become his spirit animal. Or maybe he liked Last of the Mohicans film a lot. I don't know. He wears the Indiana Jones hat. The second thing is, I said, if that's the top tier, the bottom tier would be that he does have romantic relations with Caninus, whatever the shit their Latin name is. And so then I said,
fucking talking now that a woman is on stream. romantic relations with canines. Is that really what you just said? What
No, because I realized I'm so quotable. Because I realized if I lob something out there that is quotable, it comes back. So now I'm trying to be all smart with, the linguistics.
Linguistics.
I don't know how we wound up here. So I was editing a video, so I didn't see how you guys got to this point, I suppose.
Well, we're basically talking about Rise of Skywalker. That ultimately leads to getting fucked in the ass. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I could see that. I'm beginning to connect the dots here of how you arrived at this place. Yeah, no, I don't think the guy sticks his dick in animals. So.
I think you're wrong.
Do you think he takes the knot then? But for a question that is maybe more apt for this stream and apt for Mary, is the kiss at the end, the kiss between the two women, the one that was really ugly. Was that important to you? Did you care about that?
No, I don't give a shit.
Did you wish they were more attractive?
That would have been nice. I mean, look. I mean, but then again, you could say the same of anyone on the screen in front of you, that you would hope that they would be appealing visually, because you don't go into a movie to look at ugly people, right? So I would hope that anyone on the screen in front of me, unless, there's a reason for them to be unappealing visually, I would hope that I'm looking at pretty people, just because I don't want to sit there and go, ooh, so... Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if they'd been a bit more attractive, but whatever, you do you, honey boo. Did it mean anything to me? No. Did it bother me? Only in the sense that I feel like they only did it to queerbait, because they literally put it out there. Oh, this is a progressive movie, right? They're putting it out there as though this means something or it matters. Well, no, you're queer baiting, and you're doing it to be progressive, not because you give a shit about my rights or abilities as a person who likes to engage with people of the same gender. You don't really care about that. You're just grandstanding. And so that in and of itself is a bit offensive, but I mean, it was only a moment, and it was the least of my worries. I'm far more concerned about the destruction of the mythos.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it came and went so fast that I don't think most people may not have even noticed it, to be quite honest.
Sure. I mean, I don't care actually when stuff happens in passing. If it's a side character and it just happens. I actually think that's if it's part of the main character or whatever, you need to it needs to matter to the plot, right? For you to explore that. But if it's just happening in the background, it just is what it is, and I'm fine with that. People are gay, so it exists, and you're going to run across it occasionally, and it's not a big deal. Kind of
not the show, but the comics, Batwoman, where she's a lesbian, but it's not really a big deal. It's just, she's a lesbian. Who cares?
Yeah. Don't start nothing, there won't be nothing, essentially. It's not a big deal.
She's just a chick that likes to get with chicks. That's it.
Yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah. So let's see, what haven't we talked about? So we've talked about, I guess, Dash, I never really heard your thoughts on, I kind of went hard on Leia being in this film at all. Do you feel like she was completely out of place? Did she ruin anything for you? Do you think that, yeah, got it. I was very distracted. Anything that Cubfucker says. But, I just thought they should have left her out. I don't think she pushed the plot forward. She kind of just died mysteriously for no reason. I guess maybe she used the last of her force to talk to Kylo into joining the light side again. What did you think of Leia in this movie?
I don't know who that was lobbed at.
Towards Dash, just because I've already heard Mary. I'm interested to see what Dash has to say.
Not on this stream, Beesh.
Not yet.
Just saying.
Everybody's saying Beesh.
So much hostility. Can we get back to the Cub fucking? Everyone was friendly then.
That's true. Okay, I'll go. Okay. Carrie Fisher is amazing, rest in peace. I love her. My dad said sorry for her passing to me when she died, and I was like, wow. What the hell? It was so lovely of him, because I'm like, I didn't know her, dude. But then, I don't know, I love Carrie Fisher, and I love Leia. Leia was kind of just one of those characters who got it. And so, you know, the same could be said for the original trilogy lineup. You all know this. So, and I also liked the expanded universe version of her. I didn't mind the inclusion of her Jedi-ness. However, they did it in a way that was heavy-handed. The Rey calling her master. You could tell that it was pieces sewn together, but it was very clunky in execution. And the worst part was her passing in the film, which she's just kind of like, all right, Ben, you need to do some shit. Let Han tell him. And even though it was a pivotal moment for Kylo Ren's arc, the way that she's like, I'm just going to nod off now. Like, at least Luke Skywalker, even though they bitched him out and the way that he passed was horrible, you know, with the binary sons, the way that she was like, I'm just going to take a quick nap, boys. Don't worry about it. But they had the ancillary characters be like, oh, fuck, Leia needs a lie down now. And I'm like, Leia needs a lie down?
Why?
It's happening. You know, like they could have blown her up off screen or something, or use one of the Star Destroyers on a planet that she was on to give it meaning, where Palpatine goes, you're going to kill Rey, or I'm going to put you in line. And then Kylo goes, okay, I'll kill Rey. Then he doesn't. Palpatine said, you betrayed me, and then uses one of the new Star Destroyers to blow up Leia's planet. Leia dies, and that turns Kylo. Something of that magnitude where I have an emotional connection and it's easy to film. But instead they're like, she's going to take a kip. She's going to nod off for 5 minutes. And then they're like, no, she's real dead, dude. Like, it's over.
That would have been easy. She could have been recruiting someone. She could have been recruiting people from another planet to come join the fight. They just have that clip of her in Force Awakens when she looks up as they see the big Death Star blowing up all those planets. That's all they needed to use. Would have been good. What do you think, Mary?
It did come out of left field, and it was really jarring. It was incredibly jarring because there was no lead up to it. There was no hint this was coming. There was no noticing like, hey guys, this is something to anticipate in terms of like, if you didn't know that Carrie Fisher was gone, and if you didn't know that her role in this film would need to be limited because of that fact, and if you were to watch this in isolation, it comes out of left freaking field, and there's no saying it, and it's a dash like hit that on the head, like it's like, oh, gonna go nod off now, and you're like, well, bye, it was nice knowing you. We're really glad you were around as long as you were. I'm not altogether sure why it is you're croaking at the moment. She totally pulled this sort of Padme lost the will to live, and it's very clear that it's an excuse to have her pass because they have nothing else that they can work with here, and so it's jarring. It sucks you straight out of the movie, and to me, it doesn't even, and I don't feel like it has a big impact on Kylo Ren because it's not ultimately this sacrifice that brings Kylo Ren back to the light. It's Han Solo that does it, right? I know it's a catalyst for events that lead there, but Leia isn't, her death doesn't do it. It's not the thing that brings Kylo Ren back around. It's the vision of Han Solo and the near death experience that is a result of it. And so no, it feels really, really, really sloppy, and it feels mashed together. It does suck you out, and it makes you sort of mourn for what could have been with Leia, all of the things that could and should have been if they'd not taken for granted what they had when they had it. So yeah, I can't stand it. It absolutely rips me out and hurts my heart.
Did you notice that after Ben turned back, well, after he became Ben again, not Kylo anymore, he never said another word?
Yeah.
Not a single word the rest of the movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I noticed he was quiet. I don't think I recognized that there wasn't a single word, but he was definitely quiet. I guess, you know, you don't want some strong white male saying too much and crowding up the picture when you got a strong female running around. I don't know. I'm being pissy, and I know it, but
I've heard this movie isn't that woke. Like, it's not woke at all.
It's not woke. I know I'm being pissy and injecting my own shit right there. I'm bitter about the whole thing. So I can.
Here's a fair question for you. That, like, Lethal, you get to rate it out of 10 as well, even though you have no idea what's going on. But
69.
Very good. Okay, now Ryan and Mary, out of 10, remembering that you've seen Disney, not LucasArts. Why do I always harken back to that? What's the Lucasfilm, the ILM guys behind the scenes that do magical things? They brought Tarkin back. God damn it.
Yeah.
It was pretty close. out of 10, what do you rate young Leia's face versus Luke?
Ugh.
In the flashback scene,
Mm,
you get a better look. You get a better look at young Leia's face. I would
Yeah.
say, listen, overall,
It's
it
not
looked like a
horrible.
video game.
It's not like the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, but it's not what you'd call good. You know,
I'd say a 4 or 5.
I would have said a 5.
Um,
I would have
yeah.
said a 5. Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
Rogue
right.
One Leia was better. Like it was straight,
Yeah.
and it was poorly lit, so it was like you didn't even have to go that hard.
Yeah.
Why was it so bad? Even Luke's face was pretty decent. I was like, that is a bad CGI cutscene out of a game. Well, am I playing
Yeah.
Force Unleashed or am I in the cinema watching?
No,
Skywalker?
it certainly didn't come across as realistic, but it wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I guess I just recognized that there's only so much that you can do in these situations, and considering that they were literally working on this till like the last second, and so I don't know when they decided to even chuck that piece in there, right? I'm not altogether certain when they decided that this was a scene they wanted to add or how long they had to work on it. It could have looked worse, but it certainly wasn't good.
I can't believe how nice you are. I'm like, I love Carrie Fisher. Do not Scorpion King my boo. And they're like, fuck it, let's Scorpion King her. Bang.
Yeah, I guess that. Well, I wonder. I assume that they had Luke there and used the de-aging technology on him.
Mhm.
I wonder if they weren't able, like they had to completely digital recreate it with Carrie.
Yeah, but look at Tarkin. I
yeah.
mean, it's not like Peter Cushing is walking around in his little slippers. Like they did the same
Well,
with him.
It looked good, yeah, and she didn't even really move either. Like Tarkin was actually moving. You could definitely tell Tarkin didn't look right, but it was better than that.
Oh yeah.
I would say a 4. It wasn't something that. I guess maybe knowing that she's like, I guess I know Tarkin's dead too. I don't know. It didn't throw me out or anything. I just thought it was stupid. Like
Yeah.
Okay, flashback to she just beat Luke's ass. All right, whatever.
Well, and not only that, I think because you're being sort of drugged through this film at a breakneck speed, it's really hard to absorb anything, right? It's really hard to actually get from one moment to the next feeling like you have a good solid grip on what's going on. And so in those moments where you feel like you maybe should be absorbing something, you're still sort of trying to process what you just saw. And so it's very difficult to keep up internally with what it is that this film shoves at you just constantly.
Yeah.
My room, I need to chuck out. You're loud. Get out.
We've got Qui-Gon with 40 Indian rupees. At the end of the day, Rey had to be saved by a man. That is right. By a toxic male. That's right. I just wish he had his shirt off for it. That's what I was really
Yeah.
for.
Did anybody else legitimately feel vomit rising in their chest when this moment took place? Because I legitimately felt everything inside of me begin to sort of want to heave a little bit. I had to literally internally grip myself and be like, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. It's not that big a deal. Because it was so utterly disturbing to see. And it did, God, man, when two people just don't look like they should kiss, you know, like these two just do not look like they should be kissing each other. And they have no business in getting their lips off.
I saw the scene and I thought that Adam Driver acted it really well.
They just don't look like they belong together. Nothing.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I mean, I don't think that they belong together. They don't look right together. Nothing about them physically is complimentary about one another. It's really jarring and disgusting to look at for me.
Like when you see a couple walking around the street and you look at it and you're like, she is way too hot to be with that dude.
Yeah, she kind of is too hot to be with him, though. Like, look, I'm more power to you if you think Adam Driver is attractive. That's fine. I just think he's weird looking, and I'd bone her over him any day of the week. And she just, wow, man.
I don't know.
I don't even think she looks that great either.
I think she's a very attractive lady.
I think she has some really pretty moments in this film.
Yeah, the one at the end right before she got revived. I enjoyed that part. I know Dash did too. So.
I just said she has nice calves. I don't actually rate anybody like attractive. Like, I want my Jedi shit to happen. Like, if chicks are gonna get down, Padme in a tight little white thing will kind of snap me out of Star Wars mode. But like when it's Star Wars, I'm all business when it comes to lightsabers, continuity, lore. Like, I'm just a geek. And I think the pandering to those, oh my God, those lecherous scum Reylos, like they are brutal. You want to talk about a part of the fandom that comes and attacks people.
Mm-hmm.
They are mentally unstable at the best. Like, I'm sorry, but like
you have to be to be able to embrace Reylo. Like I'm not going to make any apologies for this here. If you look at that,
anyone else? T2?
If you look at that relationship and you say to yourself, that works, that flies, the kind of abuse that he's put her through, that anybody should in any realm of thought entertain the notion that you should be with a man like that, you are mentally deranged. Period.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I will not apologize for that. And I'm sorry.
I went through this as a DC fan when the shit Suicide Squad movie came out, when you had all these normies that never read a comic book in their life talking about how Joker and Harley relationship goals. It was like, well, all right, if that's really what you want, girl, come over here so I can smash your head into the wall and throw you out a fucking window, but don't you dare call the cops, because that's what you're cheering for.
You just went from 0 to 10, and I love it.
Yeah, that was
fucking
crazy.
brother, man. This is how we do it.
I'm going to smash your head in the wall and kick you out of a motherfucking window. And chick's like, I wanted coffee, but we can.
No, if a girl comes up to me and says she wants a Joker Harley relationship, I'm going to hit her over the head with a baseball bat and be like, here you go, this is what you want.
But no, you were saying how vile the Reylos are to people.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. What I was getting at was it's the same sort of thing. I went through that with when that shit Suicide Squad movie was coming out with it's the same thing. It really is. These people are weirdos. They just go into every fandom and do like these weird shipping things. I don't fucking get it, man. Like that's why I think the whole cub fucker thing is actually really funny, because it's kind of similar. Like, these people are just.
Well, no, but they're aggressive. It's not just that they ship, right? Like, it's not a problem with shippers, right? Like, ship to your heart's content. You're not hurting anybody.
Well, it's not that. It's the way they go about it.
They're
like,
angry. They're
yeah,
so legitimately, like, they will come after you if you, like, they're legitimately vile towards people who don't understand that lane of thinking, who can't support it, who see it as actually toxic, and try to voice those. Like, even you can't even have a decent conversation. Like, I'm all about, hey, let's agree to disagree. You're welcome to dislike this movie. I thoroughly support your right to an opinion, right? I 110% will never tell you what you can or cannot like. And as long as you approach me in a way that that can be deemed as respectful, or maybe not even respectful, but civil, then we can walk away from this with some measure of understanding for one another. But freaking Reylo people are fucking nuts. They will like call you the craziest shit. They act like unhinged girlfriends on the lawn at 3:00 in the morning who are burning all your clothes. That's what they act.
How did your clothes get out in the lawn if they're out there in front?
I'm just saying,
that's what you're saying. These people are crazy. Like, they will find a way to do that.
Like, they wrote your name on your mirror before they broke it. Like, they slammed all of your dishes. Like, that's the kind of nutcase that we're talking about here when we're talking about a Reylo.
Yeah, this is all way too close to the bone, dude. I dated a girl who really liked the Joker relationship. She loved Kylo Ren. I was like, that doesn't sound exactly right. And I'm missing a lot of my favorite clothes right now. And I'm starting to like these pieces. I'm not even joking. Like, pieces are suddenly going together. I'm like, wait a second.
Who hurt you, Dash? Who hurt you?
Well, she didn't hurt me. It's just, it all happened. I have empathy for these people in this way. I think to relate to such abusive relationships, that you have to have something fundamentally broken that you're trying to fill with something that's clearly not okay. It's not balanced. It's not healthy. Mm-hmm. And so by anybody, like, my dumb ass gets on the internet and is like, Reylos should, suck a fatty and fall off a cliff. They're like, they're all shook. And I get that, because it's poking at that weird core belief system where they can't, it's so fragile because they know that it's not actually healthy, that they can't actually admit that. And so anybody that even slightly pokes at that, they just lose their shit, and then they have to gang up together. And so I feel bad for them on that level. But the part that, like, I get angry at is Star Wars doing the shipping panels. I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, there's so much creepy art and there's a lot of pedo shit. Like, don't push that stuff, dude. You know that's gross.
I don't feel bad for him. You're fucking nuts. You need meds. Go see someone. I'm just saying. You're a fucking lunatic. Jesus, God. Get like at least 20 yards away from me at all time. Can I get a restraining order? I have no desire to be interacting with people who act like fucking psychos over stupid shit, over completely stupid shit. You're insane. God help the person who likes you. I can't. Go away.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Do it.
And Dash misses his clothes.
That's what I said. You like, God help the person who likes you. I'm like, I really miss my clothes. Goddamn Raylo.
The Raylo moment was cringe and stupid, but the things surrounding it, like, why did Ray die?
Mm-mm.
Like, why did when I read the leaks, I thought rocks fell on her and she died.
Yeah, that was the impression I got as well.
It seems to me that we have another case of someone used the Force too much, and and mysteriously, several minutes later, they just fucking keel over dead.
Did she run out of mana?
Which, blows my mind, because why is anybody dead in a universe where you can like force heal to the extent that you can bring someone back to life from the dead? Why is anyone dead ever? Ever. I don't understand how that works. Why is anybody ever mortally gone? Why in a universe where Palpatine is sitting there doing his thing and he's all good and nothing fucking happened? Like nothing fucking happened. Why in that kind of universe is anybody ever dead? Why should I believe jack shit about this trilogy being over? Because in 10 years, someone's just going to go find Palp's corpsicle again, bring him back to life, and go, hey, y'all, let's start this shit all over again. By the way, Dash, I have that exact same Vader lamp in my room as well.
It looks cool when it's dark.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, and it's just, that's how I took it, that she, I guess, used too much force, even though that, like, it happened, like, 45 seconds, a minute after, she exerts herself to defeat Palpatine. And by exerting herself, all she did was fucking stand there. Like, what force did she use? I don't... Dash, tell me why she died.
All right, so there's this thing called Force Heal. All right, let me run through it. So in a good movie, there's usually a price to pay for anything. The hero's journey, everybody's heard of it. So let's bring up good old-fashioned Cade Skywalker from the EU. Now, that dude had some really, really good healing abilities, but he paid for it with a little bit of a death sticks addiction and using the dark side. Ray just is like snake and bake. The guys are like, excuse me? Like, I'm scared of snakes. I'm Australian. So I saw that thing and I'm like, what is she doing? It didn't strike her. And she magically uses Force Heal. There's no explanation. And I'm like, that's going to come back to bite us in the ass later. And of course, suddenly Ben Solo's like the heal and touch, like no explanation. There was no price for it whatsoever. So I think they filmed multiple endings and they needed this was just literally 1 out of 3, and they've gone, okay, Ray needs to use the double saber and beat him, and they're going to have the dyad where they half die, then just get back up. Then it was messy. There was no real price to pay outside of Ben's life, but even that was a bit shit. I mean, at least he kissed Daisy Ridley. I mean, Lethal said, oh, I liked it for Adam Driver. You goddamn right, he acted well in that scene. He was having the time of his life.
Well, he just got to kiss what's her name, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, right?
Oh, fucking oath, nice.
They're in a new movie together.
Do you think it would have been better if, like, it had the song playing, like "You Got the Touch," from Transformers? You got the power.
I'm sorry. It still makes me nauseous. None of it looked like it belonged together. I don't know. Adam Driver's gross, man. It's just a gross.
He is not gross. That's harsh.
Dude. He's a gross looking guy.
I don't know about. He looks weird. I do agree. He looks weird. His
Steve Buscemi is gross looking.
Well, nobody's going to argue that point. Even Steve Buscemi knows that.
Seriously, he looks like he doesn't bathe. He looks like he doesn't know what shower gel looks like.
That's
No,
part
he
of his
looks. He
character.
actually looks pretty at some points. Don't discount them when they have his Disney Prince look. When they cover his ears and he looks kind of like normal square jawed, and then like when he gets a little bit wet and it looks like he's been dunked in the ocean, and then suddenly he's a mess. Like he really does go from like a solid 7 to a 4 real quick. And I like that. I don't like pretty people. I don't like beautiful people. Like the dude out of Tron, hear me out. Tron felt like a Disney movie because of that pretty boy who just ran it. And I'm like, no, give me somebody who has a little bit different. Like Harrison Ford is a great looking cat, but he's got a lopsided smile. There's something off. Mark Hamill post accident started to have the same thing. Carrie Fisher, they're not what do you call it? Classically beautiful people. So I kind of like that about Adam Driver, and I think it gives him depth. Like I've been saying, the one thing that stood out in the film where I was impressed, even though they fucked up the power struggle between Rey and Kylo, it never felt like there was real stakes. But Adam Driver sells the shit out of his sword fighting. He always like has a breath, or like you can tell that he's fiercely a part of that.
He's not a good
scene.
actor. I'm just saying he looks like he doesn't know what shower gel looks like.
That is so harsh.
I'm not attracted to dudes, so I don't give a shit. I'm just like, well, he's ugly, but
Ash is gay confirmed, because you're like describing, like you were describing him so in depth. So I'm teasing you.
Mira, we're talking about cub fucking. You can't really one up that.
No, probably not.
I like how Lethal hasn't seen the movie, so he's just always bringing it back to fucking Cubs.
Because you brought it up, Dash.
We've got a $2 super chat from the Price is Right review. What's up, buddy? Thanks to the link, you saved me $7 for the Rise of Skywalker dumpster. You are welcome. I'm probably gonna take that down soon, so I don't get fucked.
Dude, I was gonna say look, you got balls of steel. I will give you that. But like Jesus, man, how do you still have an account right now?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that right now before I forget.
That's funny, man. As this dude, I'm just gonna put this pirate copy on my pinned tweet. Fuck you. What a champion, man.
Yeah,
Look at him grinning. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking cool.
Like, if I were gonna do some shit like that, I would create an alternate account and I would post it on said alternate account, and then I just retweet it. But,
too much work.
Yeah, that's not the pirate way. Yar.
Yeah. What would you do with a drunken sailor? What else? What other songs are there? Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. I'm good with it. Listen, I would guess by the amount of requests, it was a mistake to do that on stream. By the amount of requests I had that I responded to over a 3-hour period, I would estimate that I got, over 400 people probably. They'll link to that. So if you want to say 10,
single-handedly helped tank Disney's sales for the opening weekend.
But you're not. No, I think you did more, Ryan, because you got to think you've given the link to others who are going to give it to others. We're going to give it to others. This is a branching effect, man. They'll be singing songs of you.
I hope so.
We raised our flag and sailed the seas of Twitter, searching for Ryan's pinned tweets.
Yes, well, it's gone now, but you can still reach out. And I'll get it to you. But yeah, I think that's 400. That's an enormous theaters worth. That's 2 normal theaters worth of people. So I do what I can.
I'll be
You're
right
about
back.
to get like a knock. You're going to get a knock on your door, man. You're like, oh, you're taking my money, you fuck.
Guys, I'll be right back. I have a brother who just got home and a kid I gotta check on. So.
That's fine, Mary. Trooper Bear FN 2525. Thanks for the pinned tweet, Ryan. I have no idea what I just watched. Leia was cringe. Raylo was janky. Doomcock was right. Hi Dash. Release Harvey. Yeah, Harvey's gonna go crazy on this. And Doomcock is gonna get freaking 1 million views on his video. But thank you for the super chat.
He loves it. He's looking back on it and he was like, I fucking told you.
Yeah, I was in one of these big, enormous Fandom Menace chats that people just get added to constantly, And Doomcock was in one of them, basically just saying that he wishes that it didn't come true, that everything was nice, but unfortunately it was true. So,
And it's funny, hey, like, there's so many leaks lately. Like Predator leaked, fucking Terminator leaked, Game of Thrones leaked, this is leaked, Wonder Woman's leaked, Birds of Prey's leaked. Everything's fucking leaking.
Listen,
man.
bro, I've never seen a leak like this.
Nah,
I've never seen a leak that the leak was so comprehensive. It's not just like the basic plot points. It's every planet, every step along the way. Like I said, the only thing that surprised me about this movie was when Rox didn't crush Rey when she fell. Maybe that was my own ignorance, assuming that when the cavern fell on top of them, that's how she would die, not that she would just fucking keel over.
But then, oh shit, I was going to say, you got to remember, the script, John Boyega's script, ended up on the internet. Do you reckon that's somehow connected?
No, I think it's more likely that John Boyega is Jedi Praxis than his script actually leaked. Yeah.
And look, yeah, you know this, Ryan, and so does Mary. Like, I was very skeptical of all that stuff. Very, very skeptical. I read it, I was like, get out of here. This is dumb. And I was like, oh wow, there it is. But to be totally fair, reading it and seeing it are two different things in a movie. Like, you can read it, you can read plot points, even for some like your favorite movies. If you just read it as plot points, it might sound pretty dumb. But then when you see execution, it can actually be really good. So I kind of feel it's a little bit too harsh to completely judge the movie just off reading it. I mean, it's fair enough to read it and say, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, but you can't really judge like a lot of the other stuff, like the direction, execution, acting, all that sort of stuff. You can just be like, it sounds dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I hear what you're saying. J Mitch says Game of Thrones leaks were pretty comprehensive. Listen, this was pages of leaks. I feel like the Game of Thrones ones for each episode, when I remember, it was like an overview of like 8 things that happened in that episode. Yeah. Daenerys burns King's Landing to the ground.
The Terminator one was pretty on point.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe I just didn't read too much of that one because I didn't care too much. Yeah. After Genesis, it's like, ugh, whatever. Look up Paxis UK definition. John Boyega is Jedi Paxis.
I was on the stream on the panel with him where he brought this theory up, and it's not as tinfoil as it sounds.
What?
I'm not joking. I don't fully believe it, but he's got a good point.
But isn't the Paxis
what is the theory?
English definition the same as the American? What does Paxis mean?
It's worth talking to him, Mary. It might blow your mind a bit. I know, like he said it, and I was like, "Fuck off!" But then he explained it. I was like, "Oh."
Well, can you enlighten me, or is that a no go?
You're just. I think Ryan's looking it up now.
Oh, okay.
The meaning of Paxis. The British meaning.
It says used by school children to express immunity from being caught in games such as Bulldog or It. Doesn't sound like it to me. Let's see another definition.
He goes into it a bit more.
All right. Maybe I'll pick a word and see if we can make a connection. But I was just kind of joking about John Boyega, but he's definitely somebody who feels like he's moved on. One thing, another criticism I have about this movie, and thank you for your super chat, Phantom Menace. Appreciate you, brother. And then R2 was relegated to being a USB stick. Yes, Trooper Bear. That was fucking bullshit. He didn't do shit.
What does he do in this movie?
Not a damn thing.
He replaces C-3PO's memory.
Yep.
But that's contrived, right? The only reason, literally the only reason C-3PO can't read the dagger is so that they can pad the runtime, right? It's a contrivance. So much of this movie is a contrivance. It only happens for the sake of the plot. None of it feels organic. None of it flows. Like the only reason that's a writer's thing. There's no reason for 3PO to not be able to translate that, except that they don't want him to. That's it.
They kind of
you wouldn't be talking about I don't know, J.J. Abrams famously loving a MacGuffin about a star map that leads to somebody important in the Star Wars story twice.
Again, ripping off himself.
It's literally The Force Awakens, except it's dark side this time. No, but R2 sits this one out. Oh, no, that happened before.
Yeah.
But 3PO doesn't have a red arm anymore.
I'm
Voice
convinced that the only reason he does it is because he wants his droid to be more beloved, right? So he lets BB-8 have more to do because I'm sorry, look, I have always called BB-8 a usurper of cuteness. R2-D2 is my cute droid, period. That's all there is to it. Fuck BB-8. Fuck his stupid soccer ball head. I want to fucking kick it over a fucking fence. Fuck BB-8. I can't stand him so much. Oh my God, I can't stand that fucking.
But tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I just want to kick his head across a freaking soccer field and goal it in. Jesus. I'm so happy when
I have to agree.
Do what?
Yeah.
I agree. No, I like the passion. I don't think people express themselves enough about the fact, you know, when there's moments, I guess, of just this social agenda pushing, people talk about that a lot, but there are so many clear merch points that make just as little sense, where you're just like, wait a second, BB-8's kind of shit. That new droid that talks smack. What? Yeah. I don't even know their names. I literally, if you put a gun to my head and said, bruh, you're going to die if you can't name 3 people in the new Rise of Skywalker, I'd be like, well, it's over. I've had a good run.
Yeah, Dio, I think, is its name. And the only reason I know that
you told me Dyad too?
Yeah, and don't you love how they tried to play on your emotions? Like, oh, someone's abused this poor little droid. I don't give a shit. It's a droid. He doesn't feel shit. Like, leave me alone. I don't care.
Whoa. Let's not say things we can't take back. Let me tell you a little. Can I digress for 2 minutes in the hot seat?
I would enjoy that, I think.
The most emotional moment that I felt in like an audio book, where I was like, a tear may have gone down my face as I'm driving my car thanks to Audible. I was listening to Darth Maul's Shadowhunter, Jax Pavan. Great character. His son was taken by those filthy Jedi to be trained, and he's filthy on them throughout the novel. But he starts to go into the underworld, and he finds himself a protocol droid. And it's like C-3PO, except it has this open torso, and it can shoot lasers from its fingers. It's called I-5, and it's a badass. So they kind of did the protocol droid with a bit of a spin on it, because he's kind of a bounty hunter. And so that was really unexpected in the expanded universe. Anyway, he goes to this junker, and he goes to buy R5, who isn't pre-modified, and I5 blips to life, and the first words that come out of that goddamn droid's mouth are you going to hurt me? And the reason being was because the owners, he used to have kids that owned I5, and they used to just tell it to walk off a cliff to watch it hurt itself just for fun. And then, you know, they'd make this people rebuild it and do it over and over again. And I was like, oh my God, they abused that poor droid. Obviously in Solo and shit, I don't give a shit about droids, but God damn it, I5.
Yeah, Lando was the droid abuser in that one.
Here's the difference there. Here's the difference in a situation like that is you had an opportunity to get to know this droid, right? Like you felt for it. You as a human connected to it because you were allowed an opportunity to empathize with it over time, get to know. And I understand, like, for the purposes of getting to know this droid, it's the introduction. You have to, but it had a story, right? Dio doesn't have a fracking story. There's nothing to know about this droid. Somebody heard it once upon a time, and it exists within this world. I don't care.
He's a Sith assassin's droid. He's Uchi's droid. He's been to Exegol.
I don't
know a lot of words.
I don't know this bitch, though. I don't know this bitch. So why do I care?
Whenever I hear Jaina say or read it when she says then die already, I kind of have to take 10 minutes out of my day. I gotta like call my grandmother or something, you know, ask her how she's doing, you know. I start apologizing to some of my ex-girlfriends. It's some fucking heavy shit,
I feel
man.
like that's a daily thing for you, but for me in Invincible, as soon as you open the book, you look at the cover, as soon as you open the book and you read a Jason quote.
I'm tearing up already, man.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And like
man.
Like legit, I opened that up and I read I forget what the first Jason quote is. It's a stupid joke or something like that. And I was like,
how'd we get here, man? He used to be like this kind, jokey, carefree spirit, and now all this is happening. And it's like, I kind of just want Jason back, man.
I got goosebumps.
I just acknowledge how out of my depth I am, surrounded by EU gods. I'm just sitting over here like.
We prefer the term EU Titans.
Wait, that's a step down from God. Let her call us the gods. I'm going to take that. It feels good.
Titans are the gods' daddies. We fucking eat gods.
Oh, well, you're going like old God. Okay, so you're.
Yeah, this is some Old Testament, man. We're on that smiting level shit.
Yeah. You're
Whatever
going
you
to
want to call it.
me up and turn me into ribbons to make sure I don't come back. And even then, I'm still going to fucking come back.
Whatever you want to call it. I just recognize when y'all start busting out your mad knowledge. I'm just sitting here going, wow, I am altogether inadequate at this particular juncture.
That is my one. That is sorry, I gotta take that on your own stream, but that is my one positive in all this crap is now can people go to the fucking EU and get the good quality stuff that you've been asking for. It's there. Like now that this is done, you've seen it, and no one likes it. You know, like this is the opportunity. Like that is my fingers crossed. Like, you know, boost those book sales up. You know.
No, that's your answer. Do you want to? No, people aren't going to go to the EU. You happy? EU is the best content.
Happy.
EU is my favorite content. There are audiobooks that are better than the movies. If I could choose some of the audiobooks and video games, comics, no, I'd say keep all the movies, even the original trilogy. I love it that much. But people will not get a goddamn Audible subscription or go to Dark Horse. No, Dark Horse sold it all off. Now Marvel has the rights to the comics and they don't even release them. People won't do that. It's just, it's not in front of them and it's not hyped by Pablo on social media. So they're just like, it's not canon anymore, bro. It's how it is.
Canon. Look at the Injustice series in DC. You know, that's not canon, and that is crazy popular. You know, like when the Injustice run was going through, you know, that was, you know, outselling some Superman books. You know, that shit was popular as fuck, man, and that was not canon, and that was, you know, like carrying DC for a bit.
And that was before Bendis was on Superman.
Oh, we don't use the B word.
Yeah, and I agree. Like Bionic Belly Button. There you go. I did get it. I did get an Audible sub because of the EU Book Club and bought the books. And yeah, and it's been awesome. The people that have gotten to the EU since. But I do understand what Dash is saying on a grander scale, and we definitely are going to attract some people. I've had tons of people on my channel. Even just today, I saw some comments because I put out a video today about how I said I think the future of Star Wars is the past, whether it's Lucasfilm digging into the EU or whether it's fans looking for another outlet, and that I think the EU is a great one to go to if you're not liking the Star Wars. Yeah, it's not for everybody because not everybody wants to read. Such a small portion of people have any interest in reading a book nowadays, but the ones that do, I think we're definitely getting, or we definitely have the opportunity to get.
Well, I just don't want to hear people say that there's no good Star Wars out there. I don't want to hear it because that's not fucking true.
No, it's not that it's not true. I kind of get what Dash is saying because people, look, you're talking about the kind of people who what was it at now? Like 82%. It was 82 or 80% or something like that for the Rotten Tomatoes review for The Rise of Skywalker. These are the people you're talking about, Lethal. These are the kind of people that you're talking about. No, they're probably not going to go.
Almost 82% like the movie, so why would they want to go? Well,
what I'm saying is that general audiences are not going to go pick this stuff up. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. It's tragic even, but it's something I think it's a reality. Okay, so there you go. 88.
I don't know. Like to me, like for me, there was always like the video games. Like the video games was what really pulled me in. Like I never really, even to this day, I don't really. My dad took me to see the prequels, and I did not care for them when I was a kid. So stuff like that is like the outlet, you know. And one thing leads down another, you know. You end up playing Dark Forces, and you're like, oh, what's this Kyle Katarn dude? Oh shit, he's in books, you know. Send them my way. This KOTOR stuff's pretty fucking dope. What's up with that, man? There's a lot of comics on that, man. You're telling me there's a Revan book? Yo, send that my way. You know, one thing leads to another. It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole, but a lot of people don't go down those rabbit holes, babe.
Well, look at the success of Fallen Order. I got to disagree, man. Like Fallen Order, you know, that's what I consider one of the best things.
Sure, but it's a video game, and I do think.
And that's what expanding universe means.
No, I know that. I know that it's certainly included in it, but I think that you also do have to recognize that there's a distinction between a video game and a book.
Well, no, one thing leads to another. Like they've got their comic mini-series about that, you know. Like, they've already
I'm not going to get into a debate with you about it, because at the end of the day, I don't have enough facts. I'm just spouting off my impression of people and
I believe it's called Dark Temple.
So I just don't think people function that way.
I think Lethal is just referring to it all like a gateway drug. He's like, yeah, you know, you try a little bit of EU comics, suddenly you're doing crack. I mean, you're playing the video games. It's all good, you know. Just get them hooked.
I do think there's a lot. There's so many normies playing Fallen Order.
I do some heroin and read some books.
Oh my god. I don't know. I do see what you're saying, Dad. But the people that are interested in that, I think are starting to go there. I've seen it at least. And it's the Twin Suns project. Obviously, that's pretty small beans considering the whole Disney Star Wars and what they have going on. But
that's an effort to get it in front of people's faces, which I think is incredidly admirable. Because getting it in front of people's faces is a big step.
Exactly. I hope it gets a bunch of press, and I hope a bunch of people say that it's stupid to ask for that, so that they get tons of clicks and we get more exposure. I would love for that to happen.
First hit's always free. Remember that.
What's that?
The first hit is always for free.
That's true. That's right. You got to pay for the next one.
You'll be back.
Let's see. Otorno for 200 rubles. Something. I'm so bad with currency, but thank you so much. As much as I hate the sequel trilogy, I have to admit I've got to meet and enjoy a lot of people and their content. Long live the EU. # not my Star Wars. Yeah, absolutely. And that is one thing that definitely when you're passionate about something and you meet other people that are passionate about the same thing, whether it's because you love something or whether because you dislike something, you definitely meet a lot of people and gain some friendships along the way, and it's been awesome. So
I believe that is Russian, that currency, Russian ruble.
Rubles would be,
ruble. Okay.
Yeah, rubles would be Russian. And I will say this without question about what the Disney trilogy has done for people, at least within the fandom menace community specifically, is I've come out of this with friendships and relationships that I can't imagine moving forward in my life without at this point. I genuinely care for the people that I'm surrounded by on a constant and daily basis. And so it's been one of those situations where there is a legitimate silver lining to all of this, because we found the community. We found a community with one another. And that has meant the world to me, more than I can express, because I think there's a lot of people out there who this really broke. And when it broke us, we sought a refuge somewhere. And in seeking that refuge, we found this wonderful, amazing community full. I've always said Star Wars fans are the best people out there, because they genuinely can be invested, because you get so invested and so you care so deeply, and that seems to leak through into other aspects of life. And I've just enjoyed everyone so much.
Mary, you're actually 100% right on that. If it wasn't for this stuff, I've been watching Dash since for a long time, and there has been many a year where I'm like, man, I want to talk to this dude about chasing Solo, and now I actually do it on a regular basis.
So he just sent me rage bait. He DMs me on Twitter. I wake up and I'm like, I'm just gonna check my DMs. Hey, blah blah, Lethal, and he's like, check this shit out. And I'm like, motherfucker, and then I go tweet about it, and then he just is all happy with himself, like that jester laugh that you hear where he's the new Joker. He pulls my strings, and I'm too dumb not to react. Oh
yeah, all he does is he just throws a grenade in and shuts the door. Yeah.
Wow, I was trying to. Okay, well, that killed. I was trying
I'm
to build
sorry.
up. Some,
I am happy too. You're happy to hear it. Do you know all the old Star Wars boys? Most of them don't talk to me. If that's what you want to hear, most of them, when I spoke out, as soon as I did the Last Jedi video, just stopped talking. I didn't exist because I was like a leper, you know. All the DICE dudes and shit that I met, all the developers of the games, just unfollowed me on Twitter, and I was like, I don't blame people. Like, I hate seeing dickheads talk shit on Twitter about things that I don't like, so I don't blame people. But it was really jarring when you have a community that isn't really your community. So I am very thankful too that I met. I thought I was going to be alone in it, to be honest. So it's kind of comforting, if you will, and that they're good people too. Always have Lethal. Thanks, bro.
Lethal and Cub Fucker, the two constants. So.
There's two things in this world that you can always, three things you can always rely on: Tax, Lethal, and Cub Fucker.
Jesus, there you go. And fires in Australia.
Oh yeah, it got fucking hectic, man.
Yeah, man. Stay safe out there, both you guys. It's shitty. It's like winter for us, which I know means it's summer for you guys, so it's hot as hell, as judged by the beads of sweat running down Dash's forehead.
It's so shiny. I shouldn't have shaved my head. I'm like,
I don't even know what you're talking about. It looks fine.
Stop being nice.
Because I'm hot. It's like, oh shit. I haven't lived in the States for a while, so I can't do Fahrenheit anymore. Like 100 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was about 104 degrees in some parts of Australia today. So
I was about 124. I'm learning a little bit of the conversion.
124?
Don't you dare go backwards.
I was driving. There's a road here that has a Villies. They make like the pastries and all that, and they have a clock and a phonometer when you drive past, and it said 51.6 degrees Celsius, which is 124 American.
That's fucked.
How did your car still run?
Oh, my car. Yeah, I love my car. She goes hard, man. You know, she really does. She's so reliable.
I'm glad that Bionic Belly Button noticed this. I have suspected for a long time that Dash and Lethal actually live in the same house. They're in the same institution, I believe. I don't think they're allowed to leave. Lethal just lies about having to go to work.
That's why he's always wearing the robes. It's actually just a straight jacket that they've gone and made glamorous.
Oh, Mary, I saw this robe that I wanted to buy. It was $250. I was like, fuck, I can't afford that, man. But it was so dope, man.
He told me he saw a robe that was $250. He's like, I'm gonna have to save up a while. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Why would you spend $250 on a damn robe if you have to save up for it? It's
so nice.
I think the things go hand in hand, right? If somebody's willing to pay $250, they probably don't have money due to the previous $250 robe expenditure. And to answer your question, when I got this house, I remember my mum first saw it and she was like, oh, it has a really bright, bouncy yellow wall color that you're going to have to paint over. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to have to paint this shit. It's a gnarly color.
Never.
Little did you know that it would match the walls of the man.
Not to mention your shirt.
My shirt, yeah, I guess my shirt is pretty that color yellow right now.
You guys,
shit, you're right.
Like you called each other.
Yeah, fucking knife.
Yeah, somebody in the chat earlier was like, Ryan should write Dijon or something on his shirt. But yeah. Rey ended up with a Falcon BB-8, Luke's old home, and the name Skywalker is a slap to the face. If anything, she should have taken the name Solo. She was more attached to Han and Leia than Luke.
Yeah, that makes
and Ben.
The girl played the game, you know. She came out with everything. She's like, you know, like when you play Monopoly, there really is only one winner, and everyone else is crushed.
No. If she was winning Monopoly, if she was the one winner, she would have stayed true to a Palpatine lineage. It would have ended the movie. She would have seen Force Ghost Leia and Luke together at the Lars homestead, and she would have seen them, and they would have said, do it. Tell him what your name was. And she's like, excuse me for 1 second to that lady. Pull down her Dax, taking a shit on their homestead and just rode off. Palpatine, motherfuckers. Forget
that would have been awesome.
That's to open up the whole can of worms again. But why the hell are we burying Leia's lightsaber on Tatooine? The fuck does Tatooine mean to Leia?
What do you mean? That was where she like had a metal bikini. It was her at the prime of her life, man.
That's
That
true.
was the prime, dude.
That is true. She choked a worm there.
She choked a worm, all right. She choked on a lot of worm.
No, like you know as well as I do, that's not an excuse. That's not a reason. That's a cop out. Why the hell is it getting buried on Tatooine? It doesn't mean shit.
What is she gonna do? Find freaking what's his name? Organa's coffin, crack that bitch open, shove the lightsaber up his ass, and walk away. And be like, now she can rest in peace. Like,
yeah, she ain't taking it to
it's not the place. It's not the place. Like she has as much attachment to that as she does say Naboo. So I'm just saying burying Leia's lightsaber on Tatooine is not the significant thing that they make it out to be.
Where would you have buried it?
I agree.
I agree, but where else is there?
That's where it started. That's
the
where
Falcon?
Yeah.
Maybe leave it, like put it in a little trophy case on the Falcon.
Maybe don't leave lightsabers buried in the fucking sand like a retard. Somebody,
some kid finds it. Oh, look at this, Daddy.
Broom Boy is gonna find it.
Oh, is there any reference to the Broom Boy?
Not a single fucking thing.
Lethal, he's back. Don't listen to them. There's a scene at the end where they cut past like the Tatooine cantina, and he's there, and he does he does one of these at the screen.
You know what I'd love to see? Like, I just had this pop through my head. And this is absurd. It's completely absurd. But I'd love to have like a diner scene or whatever where Broom Boy's been like taken on as like a dish boy. And then like he walks past and he just slaps him upside the head, you little shit. Like oh my God, I hate that freaking kid so much. Why is he there? What point does he serve? I just want to see someone slap that kid upside the back of his head.
Oh, and you know, now I don't know if we mentioned this. You know, Finn is force sensitive.
Now
kind of started that in the Force. The
started,
first one.
but they never finished it. Like I was convinced initially that Rey was a red herring, right, and that it was gonna be about Finn, but really ultimately it was just lip service that they paid to him. They never gave him an arc. They never gave him anything of substance. They just paid lip service to him and then slapped some Force sensitivity on him for good measure and called it handled. What a shit show.
He just like. He's like the definition of force sensitive. He's not a force user. Like he's just like can sense things. Like it's really strange. It's really stupid. I don't even really know what point there is to doing it.
There is no point. They just did it for freaking reasons because they gypped him in every other way. So let's slap force sensitive on him and call him treated well.
There's two things I want to know. One, Mary, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking?
Yeah.
Slurping something.
Oh, no, I ate a raisinette.
Oh, okay. Scrap that. And two, honest to God, should this not be called the Palpatine saga?
Yeah, it is.
That is what I said. That is exactly what I said, because this is a story about how Palpatine rises to power, how Palpatine and then you could call the original trilogy sort of like the middle of it, like the Empire Strikes Back, where everything goes poorly for him. And then the finale or whatever, where Rey comes in and outdoes him and takes him down, right?
Well,
it should be called the Palpa Queen saga. Rey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slay Queen.
Palpa Queen. Palpa Queef.
Lethal, you know that they can teleport lightsabers now?
Yeah, I saw that. I watched the
lightsabers teleport now.
I thought that was dumb, but I did like the way Kylo fights. Like what Dash said. I think he does good with his fights. I thought it was stupid. It was stupid the way like you could just like hand someone a lightsaber through nothing. Mind you, that would be convenient. Hey, honey, can you pass the controller? Yeah, sure. Boom, done. That's cool. But the way he was actually fighting was dope. But the Knights of Ren just got fucking wiped out.
I agree. I agree that the way he fights is interesting. It's also completely ineffective. If he faced a prequel era Jedi when they were having the if he was in the Darth Maul fight, with the choreography that they used with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, he would get fucking destroyed because the way they have him fight, it's all about this flash and the emotion that he has while he's fighting. Which I get, and it looks cool, but it's so technically
wrong.
He would just get fucking destroyed compared to the Jedi of old.
Yeah.
Luckily, Luckily,
Yeah.
Rey sucks. So
This is the way I've always looked at that stuff. It's like, honestly, I think the 3 rings of defense is like
yeah,
the perfect. It's like the
Oh my
perfect
god.
lightsaber.
yes,
Oh my god, like Jedi Outcast, I Jedi the novel that bolstered it. That gave literal science to the art of Star Wars. From that point on, you always knew what was happening in a lightsaber fight.
it was so
I'm on board.
simplistic. It was such a simple, easy way to talk about it. And
That's why
obviously, yeah. Go ahead, Lethal.
I've thought about like the prequels have good fight scenes. My personal favorite is in Episode 5. But when you look at those fights and then you read about the 3 rings of defense, it's like, this one's pretty superior compared to everything we've seen on screen.
Yeah, and it's so much less confusing than like the 7 forms.
Yeah.
And one of the things, in the Darth Bane trilogy, which we're going to read for EU Book Club coming up here soon, they do dive pretty heavily into the 7 forms, which I think is awesome. It's one of the great things about the Bane trilogy. In addition to all the lore you get on the dark side and on the Sith and things like that, the fact that they go so heavily into lightsaber combat, I thought was really cool. But yeah, the 3 rings of defense is such a simple.
You should do a video on that, Ryan.
I want to do a lightsaber form video. Fuck, man. Rise of Skywalker is so hot right now. I'm definitely gonna make it, but
do a 3 rings of defense video. Hey, Lee, we had this wicked idea. We're gonna do the 3 rings of defense video.
Yeah, dude, I'm so happy my video today did well. I waited till today to do it about the EU because I wanted to make sure it got all this Rise of Skywalker traction.
Fair enough. I mean, YouTube's a game. I've chosen not to do anything on Rise of Skywalker due to a lack of care, but it is what it is. 3 rings of defense. It's fucking dope.
When lightsaber fights become too fast and technical, they become boring to watch, like Episode 3.
You know what? Here's the thing with Episode 3. I think Episode 3 is an amazing fight, but it's a terrible sword fight.
Yeah, I think there's better ones for sure, but
it was up its ass a little bit with how much they were spinning it and the flash. I think the problem, I like Kylo Ren's fighting because it's more visceral and physical, but he was slated again as the Jedi killer. He took out a temple worth of Jedi. Therefore, on skill merit alone, like if you take the Force out of the dyad, let's say Rey and Kylo are equal. He's a trained Jedi killer who is more than her match in any lightsaber fight. They explained away The Force Awakens as he was wounded from Chewbacca and the bolts that hit him from his crossbow crossbow? Bowcaster.
Bowcaster, yeah.
So I accepted that. Any physical fight, just a plain fight, Kylo wins in my books. But they didn't even stick to that. They half did in Rise, but there were many skirmishes where Rey was his equal, and she just shouldn't have been. Like, he's a better sword fighter. That's it. If she somehow got out of it because of luck or the Force, I would accept it. But I'm like, just stick to your own fucking story, dude, because it's confusing to me and it kills the stakes because I'm like, Rey's probably going to win and it's going to be her just doing the same shit as him, and it was most of the time. Yeah,
and my real issue with one of my issues with that fight in TFA is the fact that sure, if you want to explain it away with the fact that he's injured, I still think he would wipe her fucking ass. Like, I think he'd beat her ass. But the fact that he has total command over the Force, he should have lifted her up and slammed her ass against that tree and paralyzed her. Like, I mean, in a heartbeat, he could have done anything he wanted to her with the Force. Or should have been able to. I see it. What do you got here?
Speaking of lightsaber fights, Evan Nova posted this. This is his next matchup, Darth Zana versus Grievous. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be EU Grievous as well. That's going to be fucking dope, man. This is hype. This is the fight I'm looking forward to. Darth Zana versus Grievous. Man, I love Evan Nova's videos. If you like Star Wars, like fighting videos, this is the dude to watch.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because Zana's her Sith alchemy, Sith sorcery will have no effect on Grievous, right?
Yeah. Well,
I guess a little. He is
still
still partially living. He is still partially living. So I guess her her beasts or her shadows or whatever could still affect him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, isn't she a Master of Defense Form 3? Isn't she Form 3 Master? Like nobody's impregnable.
Yes, she cannot slip through her defense.
Yeah, and Grievous is just pure relentless as well.
But Grievous isn't going to slow down. Yeah, like that's Zana's strategy, is just let people wear themselves out. Grievous, I don't think he can wear out.
I'm really interested to see, like with Evan Nova, you know, he never does. I can take that back. He rarely does dumb matchups. You know, like he must see something in this.
Oh yeah, that's definitely interesting. $2 super chat. Did JJ forget the large homestead burned down? I don't know if it burned down completely. We definitely saw the bodies burning and everything. So when you see it in the movie, it looks fucked up. Like it looks like it was burned or something. So I don't know. And then for 40 Indian rupee, well, thank you very much, Jedi Knight Guy 82. I appreciate you. And then for 40 Indian rupee, Qui-Gon, watch Shadiversity's breakdown of episode 3, Obi versus Anakin. So I got to watch Shadiversary on Obi-Wan versus Anakin, and I need to watch his recent review. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Boom chakalaka.
That's right. And guys, we have been going 2.5 hours now. It is past 4 in the morning for me. I need to edit a video, get it uploaded to YouTube. What?
Mary just grew. Did anyone else see that?
Oh
I
yeah,
saw it. She like grew in power. I'm like, oh god.
Over 9,000 now. But hey, thank you guys for joining me on it. It's a nightcap for me. I don't know what time it is for you guys in Australia. Probably like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
10:30 p.m. for me, and about next Thursday for Dash.
Oh dang! All right. Well, I do appreciate you guys coming. Mary, what are you doing down there?
Dicking around.
Well, Mary, you want to let everybody know who you are and why they want to sub to you?
Sure. Okay. Well, I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official Whammon card holder, guys. So you should definitively go over and subscribe to my channel, because I make all of the awesome shit tearing down the stupid narratives that go down within Hollywood these days, especially the woke narratives. But I also am a huge Star Wars fan, and I'm not as huge as these amazing expanded universe god tier people are. So I'm not as far into the deep lore as they are, but I know my main saga, and I know some of the just a little bit here and there. I definitely played KOTOR, and I'm really big into Clone Wars, and I'm currently watching The Mandalorian. And so, yeah, I would be thrilled if you guys would come over and check me out.
Nice. Well, thank you, Mary. Definitely go sub to Mary's channel. I will pull it up and get it in there. While Lethal is,
I can do
okay.
that.
Yeah, you're a bond. Thank you. Lethal Lightning. Tell us about your channel and how much cub fucka memeing there's going to be.
I think I'm going to make a whole playlist out of this, to be honest. Dash, of course, is welcome to join me in the cub fucking. What's it called? What's a group sex a cub fucking called, Dash?
Please no.
Shut your fucking face, uncle fucker. Sorry.
Yeah, let's go with that. So there's going to be lots, Ryan, to answer your question.
Good. Make sure you guys subscribe to Lethal for not only cub fucking, but also for Star Wars content. Well, Star Wars EU content, because he doesn't really give a shit about this trilogy, this new Disney stuff. DC, some Marvel stuff.
Just comic books in general, comic books, movies.
Trailer reactions, Mortal Kombat, video games,
gaming, and
that's right.
And I'm gonna upload a review of the first episode of Witcher pretty soon.
Yeah. I think that dropped officially.
Dude, it's dope, man.
Right now, so
you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I love me Henry Cavill. So
he is amazing in this.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and I just somebody told me that I missed a super chat. I think earlier. God, I feel like shit if I did.
While you're looking that up, Ryan, as a gym bro, fellow gym bro, if you want to feel good about your legs, look up Henry Cavill calves.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's more than mortal. My beautiful dancer's chicken legs, which my brother's got legs like pistons, so I'm always like hating that I squat away and I got no mass on my legs. Henry Cavill, I look like Superman lower half compared to Henry Cavill. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. That can't be him. Hold on. Let's look at some calf action.
Yeah, let's have a look.
That's Henry Cavill? That doesn't look like him.
Right.
That's Henry Cavill. Bruh.
He doesn't look very Supermanish right here.
Yeah, but you don't lose the calves like I find it hard to put mass on calves, but fuck.
Look at this. This is the man right here. Jesus.
Let's keep in mind that he was dating Gina Carano, I think, from Mandalorian, and that he's probably one of the best looking cats on the planet. Like, you can't take Henry Cavill down a peg just because he's got weak calves. Like, give a shit. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, huh.
Here we go.
You'd think, obviously the suit buffed him out, but yeah, he's got an Achilles calf.
Yeah, this, man, look at him before he put on the weight. He was Perseus, right? For this movie?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen that one, man.
Yeah, that's Immortals or something. Some Greek movie.
Right. I've seen that.
Yeah, but then like look at that picture and then this picture.
Yeah, Superman, bitch.
God. Don't see him.
That's why they popped him in pants in that picture though, versus the suit they would have been able to implant the calves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe genetically he's just screwed because clearly everywhere else he can get ripped as shit. It's a weird thing.
Cub fucker has it. He says Henry Cavill. There you go. Perfect. How did we not get that earlier? But I did have a super chat from Sharon Marlowe. Which Sharon, if you're still here, I'm really sorry I missed it. If not, I will make sure to tell you personally. Baby Yoda is our only hope. For $5. Thank you very much. I can't believe it went over my head. It was Baby Yoda stuff. But thank you so much. I appreciate you, Sharon.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Sharon. More like Baby Choda, though. All right, bros?
Oh, yeah. I was hoping that, I don't want to spoil episode 7 of Mandalorian in case anybody hasn't watched it, but I was hoping he took a good spill at the end. Might have, just cracked the neck a little bit. That would have been nice. But, Dash Star, where can people find you? And are there any changes to a big channel that you might want to tell these fine folks about? Right,
Dash Star is not me anymore. That was my slave name. I'm free. Watto has taken the bomb collar off. Dash, you make a free, okay? Yeah. So my new channel, I'm going to be doing a lot of chats. Look, all the content that I watch on YouTube is like Tiger Belly and Chris D'Elia and all those cats. So I really wanted to do that and just have these, like literally going on Lethal's podcast. I was like, I love talking to people and I'm a little bit funny with it at the moment because I'm used to scripts, but I have a channel called Real Dash where I just chat about things. I've done a review of The Rise of Skywalker, so please check it out. And I've also got Game Lore Dash, which is me deep diving into games like Diablo, KOTOR, Cyberpunk when it comes up, all those good things. But yeah, Dash Star's kind of, it's in the past.
Yeah, in the past, but there's still good stuff coming up on it, right?
Kind of sad about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Of course, there's good content, especially around the Mandalorian. They're still really fun, but it's called Lore Dash now because I brought on somebody else to help out with it. Because I didn't feel comfortable covering the sequel trilogy. I just don't. I don't like it, and if I did it, I wouldn't want to do like theories or really promote Disney without my opinion. But yeah, so it's Lore Star now. But I'm me physically. Dash has been my nickname longer than YouTube, so I take that with me. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that's a good picture.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's some wank bank shit right there.
I got retconned. Yeah, and I think it's funny that anybody gave you any crap for your review that you did.
You two get me in trouble all the fucking time.
Whoops! I forgot to put this in here. Who does?
You two. You
What
two
happened?
come on and say, "Oh, I don't like this episode of Mandalorian," and I get barraged. I showed some of it to Dash. I get barraged with, "Oh, for fuck's sakes, Lethal, rah 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 rah. You just hate rah rah rah." I'm like, I haven't seen it, man.
What, really?
Yeah.
That's way better. I'm happy. Like when Lethal's in pain and it's not his fault, I'm actually okay with that, funnily enough. It's better. You haven't even seen the show, you poor bastard. You're just sitting there like do, and they're like, let's get this fuck. So I'm cool with that. If you guys have any grievances with me, the channel to leave a comment on is Lethal Lightning.
Yeah. Give me all your Dash and Ryan hate, but word it like it's me doing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, it's shit like this, it's dog shit like this that is the reason that people like Mandalorians it'll save Star Wars. So it's dog shit like episode 9. But yeah, send the hate Lethal Lightning's way. He doesn't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I just meme.
That is right, meme lord. And again, Cubfucka says, if only that photo was a wolf. But
I'm sure we can make that happen.
I'm sure we could. I'm sure it'll happen next stream. But thank you guys for coming here. I actually hit 4,000 subs while we were streaming. So that's pretty cool. So thank you to new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Thanks to everybody that hung out in chat. Let me say a quick thank you to my wonderful patrons. Teresa Martin, Mexican Iron Man, Lost Jedi 22, Mary Mayhem, what an ass, what a bitch, what a cuck, George Big Dick Lucas, Rosetta Allen, Bionic Belly Button, RC from the NYC, Huge Ass, Seth Saunders, Kyle Hopkins, Alex McCarthy, Trev Fishbean, and Geeky Candy. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate you. And thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate it so much, guys. But for now, Cubfucka. We will you're a new sub. Yeah, that's probably it. I got a million alt accounts subscribing to me. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.